What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Wardcast, your weekly source for video game news, machinima, and survival horror discussion, updates on the ward, and more. I'm your host, Sean Clark, alongside Jazz Rich, Alec Funnel,
Time for a solid joke. Why did Mario leave his cart? He needed a wee.
and as I put it in the notes, Karen De La Cruz.
What?
Karen?
How long have you known me? Hello.
It's a typo. It's not my fault.
It's
I'm just saying. So I don't know how this episode's going to go. It's going to be weird because there's so much news. I wasn't able to make images for all the different articles. So I have tabs open that I'm going to kind of try to use those to display imagery while we're talking about the things. So I have a bunch of tabs open, and the two videos that I played were running like shit. So I don't know how the stability of today's episode is going to go. Hopefully it doesn't crash or explode or anything. But yeah. We'll see how it goes. Hello, everybody. So yeah, we have a thick episode for you today. I hope you like video game news because, like I said, there's a shit ton of it. Like I mentioned last episode, I had to sort through over 300 news articles. I picked out the highlights and then I narrowed down from there. It's been a shit ton of work, but I did it. I've gone through it all. I've narrowed it down, and most of it is going to be on today's episode, but not everything. Everything except for I think 8 articles are going to be in this episode, and then those articles are going to be tackled next week with whatever happens throughout the week. So it's going to be another kind of news heavy week next week as well. Not as bad as today. So we're going to get through most of it today, but yeah.
It's Canadian second Thanksgiving. I gotta go.
Oh, wow. But yeah, I kind of saved most of the bigger articles for next time because there is so much to go over this week. So we're going to be talking about like a bunch of PlayStation and Ubisoft stuff next week because those ones are going to be bigger topics that I kind of want to linger on a little bit more and kind of have a discussion about because they're kind of fucking crazy. But yeah, so that'll be a thing. But with that said, let's get into it. This week we're talking about a crazy new Yakuza game, Silent Hill 2 remake doing well, Dragon Quest 3 getting censored, and more. But first, welcome back, Jazz. How was your weeks? How was your Thanksgiving? Hello.
Hello. Thanks for giving me the week off. After
You're welcome.
250 episodes.
Worst episode ever.
It sucked.
I figured you finally deserved a day, you know.
After we took like 2 months off.
Yeah, the timing.
That's not the point. No, it was a good weekend. Surprisingly, we didn't really get rain, and if we did, it was like during the nights, which is cool because in town I listen to rain, like 10-hour loops of rain as like white noise to help me sleep. So that helped. And the weather was in like the negatives, so I was happy. I was like in the bed and I was like, "Ooh, it's warm, Mom. Turn off the heater." She's like, "No, it's freezing." But yeah, like you had the fireplace going at night, which is like gas, but whatever. And it was really like it's my element, fall and cottage. It was nice to get away from electronics. I did try to play D&D from the cottage on last Friday, and that was like it put like a bad mood game in an already like kind of shitty mood with like all the technology issues I had. Plus like the cottage is just one big room, so every time my mom made a little noise, it's not her fault. Like she's allowed to eat dinner obviously, so I wasn't gonna like get mad at her for it, but I had to keep muted all the time because she was using the microwave and you feel like slam the door. So I was just like muting and unmuting, and every time I wanted to do something and like it didn't work out because I guess people didn't hear me or I don't know. But other than that, I was away from technology, which was a nice little break. And when I got back to town and I was like, "Hey Shayla, let's play Baldur's Gate," and then I got in town, I was like, "You know what? No, let's not. I'm going to bed." In my bed, and I like laid down next to Satan, who was like, "This is my bed now, bitch. You've been gone 3 days. Shut the fuck up. Get out of my room." So I was like petting his stomach, and then we both like passed out. It was nice.
No.
But it was a nice weekend. There wasn't as many people for like the big party thing, and they didn't do like the whole music thing they do, which to me is a little nice. I mean, like, I don't want to like get them to change what they usually do. It's a lot of noise, and my head is like, "Please stop." But instead, we played a game that I have that everybody seems to really like, and that was fun. But then I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to bed. Bye." And like the dark didn't bother me at all. I was like, "Peace," and I just like walked across and went to bed. And I did a lot with my mom, so my muscles are still a little sore, but I've got big muscles. And oh, Sean, you're fading away. Oh no, the mist has him
Hello, hello. I will disappear into the atmosphere.
into
I apologize.
the atmosphere. Um, but that was pretty much my weekend. I stepped one foot in the lake. Uh, Turns out I didn't actually have to go in the lake much because so many people came out, like neighbors and stuff, that every time I turned around, like whatever I was gonna go in the lake to move was like gone already, and I was like, "What the fuck?" So it was cool. A lot of people were helping my mom this year, which felt really good to see, like people actually helping, and yay, because it's the time of the year to put shit away. Um, our cottage is not like winterized, so it has to all shut down. So there's a lot of like furniture and stuff to put away in the canoe, which we always put away at the last minute because people want to go canoeing. But the wind was insane because I guess we got like the like the tail end of whatever storms were going on. So there was just like whitehead little waves on the lake all weekend. And my cousins were like, "Yeah, we're not going on the canoe." I was like, "I would, but it's not the time to fall off. This is not the tipping canoe season." Okay, I'll stop talking about my weekend because that's pretty much. I mean, I played with dogs otherwise, which is always fun. One bit me.
My
My
show
hand.
and tell is a dog.
My show and tell is a dog bite.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we both reached for the frisbee. She we both reached for the gun. She bit my hand instead of the frisbee accidentally. She didn't mean to. And there's like still a bruise healing, but it made video games hard. But I did still manage to play some. Like so I played some Outlaws, and I got past, I believe, what is the prologue, because I left the starting planet. I stole a ship, and I'm having fun with it. I like, you have like your little friend. What?
Are you a mime? What is happening?
No, you carry on. I am listening, but I'm also intrigued in this conversation.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there. Um, it's a lot of fun. You get to, as I expected, you get to like steal from people and sneak around, and there's gun stuff, and you get to sneak up on people and knock them out and shit like that. So it's fun. I played a little bit of hockey, like on the game, not me. Those days are over. My career is over.
I had to leave that
Um,
life behind.
Yeah, my puck handling days are over. I played, of course, some D&D. Been working on building my campaign for the next campaign of our group, which is really hard, but I'm on a path. I'm on a path to success. And I played a demo of a game that randomly appeared on Steam, and I was like, "Yeah, I want to try this demo." And it's called Fear the Time Loop. It's a survival horror game that's like Resident Evil, and it's pretty much it was pretty cool. I'd be interested to play the full game if it gets one, because sometimes these demos, well, actually, sometimes it's when they say the prologue is when it never actually happens, but when there's a demo, sometimes that means there's a game coming somewhere. There's a couple of things I hope that they improve, but the demo was available on October 11th, and I recommend people actually try this demo because although there's still some things they have to tweak, I think it has potential. I think it'll be fun. It's your protagonist dies every 15 minutes and gets returned back to the starting point, and you have to figure out the mystery of the time loop and try to escape the constant like cycle of death. But you're randomly in this like morgue, and there's I don't really know, like it wasn't I don't remember if there's anything really scary in the demo itself, but I was like focused. I was like it feels like you're playing a Resident Evil game in Unreal Engine 5 or Engine Unreal whatever. It was good. It was a good demo. It played for over 20 minutes, so clearly I had more than 15 minutes. But you have like your life slowly going down, and if you find like first aid kits, and it'll like bring your health back up a little bit, but it still like slowly goes down as you go. And there's like a lot of puzzles, there's shit you got to figure out, there's like documents, so it's I can see why it's like Resident Evil. It's not a company that I've heard of. It's like something tacos,
something tacos,
taco eaters. And you're a sheriff, and at first you're like talking to this girl on a radio, and she's like, oh my god, like we've been looking for you've been missing for like this much time or whatever. And then she's like later she's like, oh hey, like who is this? And you're like, what are you talking about? It's me. And they're like, no, we just found like this guy's body, so who are you? And you're like, what? But I'm him. And so it's really like it's like fuckery. It's really good. It has really good potential. I recommend it. So Fear the Time Loop on demo on Steam. Obviously it's free because it's a demo. So my show and tell, other than the fact that I can now drink Dr. Pepper because it's zero sugar. Because zero sugar. Did you hear that pop? Oh, it's not popping now. I got these dice. I got dice. So as you know, I'm a nerd, and I like Lord of the Rings. So I found these dice on Amazon, and they got the ring inside a dam.
the ring. That's
so
cool.
let me just pull one out. One ring.
Yeah,
They got
pretty cool.
And the ring actually has like the inscription on it, in it, on it,
in it, bruv, in it.
So according to some reviews or whatever, people are saying that like the dice are not actually like they don't balance well because of the ring in it or whatever. But honestly, I just think that this is really cool to add to my collection because I like my collection of really cool dice. And also I love Lord of the Rings, but like it came in this really cool box. It has like a little like hole in the foam so that you can pull the dice out without struggling. They're really cute. Like they're like comfortable in their little box, and they had a really cool like tin box. And not a lot of places do this with like collectible little things like this, but they had like a piece of foam on top so that it doesn't like push in and damage it when you close the box. I don't know. I thought that was really cool, but and they weren't really expensive.
That's surprising because dice, like special dice, are really expensive for some fucking reason.
No, it
I would
was
display
only,
those.
it was only about $40 for the whole set, and usually like
That's expensive.
No, because usually
No.
about like a really like big like nice dice like this, like one can cost you $40.
What the fuck?
And considering
Yeah.
one set of regular dice can cost you like $8 to $10 just for the 7 dice of like just plain like dice, that's pretty good. And that's like $40 was like the final price, like after shipping and everything. So I think it was a really cool deal. I was like, yeah, I gotta get it. They have other colors, but red. Come on.
Those
They
are-
said that
those are
they don't
definitely
balance
displayable.
well. Like, don't they inject it with like a liquid so it's kind of solid in the center?
Well, there's resin, but like if you look, I guess it's just because like it's sometimes like it's on the side, like it's not perfectly centered or whatever. So people say like it doesn't, it's weighted or whatever.
Because the metal's going to be heavier than the resin.
But I mean, I'm getting like different rolls every time. I'm not getting just one, so it's not just the one ring. So not the one rolls to crit them all. But it's a cool little yeah, and it's the company Kerwell's. I don't know. I'm gonna check them out to see if they have more stuff. But I'm really happy. I feel like Doesn't complete the collection, but it adds
I
to it.
mean, is it completable?
Nope, because I'm gonna get a second bag and fill her up.
One day, her entire background just be comprised of dice.
I want to
everywhere.
get like a
Ooh,
plexiglass
I
thing
have an
and just
idea.
like in between the wall and the plexiglass, just like pour dice so that the entire wall is just dice. And then there's a little dispenser thing at the bottom, so I could just like play with random dice and then just put them back in after.
You can make like a pachinko board or buy a pachinko board.
No, we don't talk about pachinko
It's bad.
because Konami, they are the pachinko wankers. Anyways,
Bunch of
They
wankers.
could
of
be on a
wankers.
redemption arc. You never know. It could
speaking of
happen.
wankers, hey Alec, how was your week?
Speaking of wankers, yeah, thanks. Yeah, my week. Yeah. I played Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on the PS5, and it didn't explode, so that was good.
Why are you tempting fate like this?
That, well, this sort of thing. I played some Zombie Army Trilogy because it's been a while. I was like, oh yeah. So I was like, trying to learn the controls again.
Won't
I
play it
still
with
don't know-
us.
Well, I've downloaded it, so if you guys want to play it again,
I want to play. I've been wanting to play it for a while.
Well, download it then.
I don't have to download it. I have it on. Well, I guess that's not true anymore. Never mind.
Yeah, download it then.
Why not?
Anyway.
Well, just because I have it on disc doesn't mean I don't have to download it.
It's true.
I mean, you put the disc in and you'd have to install it somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, get busy and put that in things and we can play. I played new to me Saints Row, the newest one.
Why would you do that?
I didn't know they made a new Saints Row game.
Why do you hate yourself?
What did we keep doing? We're just rolling around.
Yeah, using the emotes or whatever. That was fun.
What was the one emote? Oh, I can't remember.
It was like throwing up and doing whatever additional animation.
That was
or something.
all of the game. That was the whole game right there. We spent an hour doing that.
Yeah, I don't think we played more than maybe like 30 minutes of the actual campaign, but we played it for like 2 or 3 hours.
Just like
so
I can believe that.
stupid.
yeah. Yep. Sorry, Alec.
Yeah, that's fine. I watched all that Netflix Mr. McMahon documentary and learned absolutely nothing new.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's like all the like I don't know, just kind of rehash of what's already out there. But like this time, I guess Vince McMahon was like there to say it is the only difference. I don't know.
I mean, there wasn't a lot about Vince at all in it, and when it came to dates of events, it was actually wrong because you can go back and trace the dates of it and like, yeah, so this documentary was not aimed at actually wrestling fans because they can quite easily point out the errors and find a bias towards Vince quite easily. I mean, for example, a documentary about a guy had about 2 or 3 sentences about his childhood, and this was 6 episodes. Why only have 2 or 3 sentences about his childhood? Really?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair too, like since he was like Vince McMahon was like behind most of the production of it, like it was probably heavily controlled as to what they were going to cover, you know what I mean? So like I don't know, I kind of wish that once the allegations happened or whatever, like they did another 3 episodes on top of that and like really fleshed it out. Like I think that would have been way more interesting.
It's like, okay, here's all the things at the end of the episodes where he's been previously, against Alex, other accusations made against him. It's just like, yep, all right. So innocent until proven guilty. Get on with it.
Yeah, and it's weird too because like they had people like The Rock, and he was like there for 2 seconds. Like,
yeah,
they sat him down, did an interview, and he was literally in that documentary for like 30 seconds. Like, what the fuck was the point?
Clickbait. I also watched Dragon Ball Super Broly. That was all right. It was actually free on YouTube, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. So yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes of season 4 of The Boys, and
why?
I sort of see where you're coming from. You said that the characters seem to have changed. So I won't go too far into it because the people haven't seen it. But it's just like a couple of things I noticed, isn't it? Okay, since when? And why now?
Mhm.
I'm like,
Let's get that DEI syringe and just inject some of that in there, and we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So yeah, show and tell. I have two show and tells. One's a bit more interesting. Um, Nice Cats cat game for PS1.
What the hell? Oh, is that one of those like knockoff Disney things?
It's not. It's. So I'm just trying to. So yeah, it's like these Phoenix games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like
So
it's basically just like a movie on a PlayStation disc.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it'll probably blow up the console as soon as I put it in. So yeah, I haven't played it yet. I wonder why.
You mean watched it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen the Dinosaurs Phoenix game. So I only watched it to see if I can put it into the machine, but I'm like, yeah, no. I can take the piss out of it outside of Dino Supercross. Other show and tell is, so we established at the end of the Wardcast last week that I need to rebalance everything around. So I have a stripper pole, which Carmen, told me about these stripper poles, so I had to buy these stripper poles.
Wow.
And to help the audio kind of things, I got some thick curtains with leaves and red. Yeah.
To be
So,
clear, they're curtain poles.
Stripper poles. Come on, it's me. I'm going to call it stripper poles. So, yes, I've done it. I've moved all the PC from where it was to over to another corner. I've essentially made a box out of the room. And so I was moving stuff around.
I wanted to see your. I didn't even realize that when you first joined the call, but you've got like a whole like setup with all your gaming stuff over there.
So when I was busy moving shit around, as Lee pointed out earlier, I have a SNES.
Bless you.
It's an SNES, you fuck.
I have a broken Xbox 360.
Oh, good, broken.
Yeah.
That's the best kind.
I have a Guitar Hero guitar. Hang on, let me just grab my
Broken Xbox 360 works best that way.
Metal Gear book, Resident Evil book.
Is that hair gel?
Can't spray it.
Better hope
hair
so.
gel.
Sure you can.
Resident Evil Zero book, Deathloop, and the whoop!
Uh-oh.
I killed the camera. There we go. And then the Resident Evil 3 remake Jill picture signed autograph over in the background. So.
Is there a bunch of tape over there too?
Yes, there's always
God
a
damn
bunch
it.
of tape.
What is wrong with you people?
Lots of things. So yeah. Carmen, how was your week?
My week was it started out good. It ended kind of shitty. I had some interesting adventures in the job market. But aside from that, I watched a lot of Buffy and a lot of Buffy and a little bit of Angel. So I've continued that. I started to watch a kids show called Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. And I think I started to watch it. I think I watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes a few weeks ago. But it's a French animation, so I decided to try and watch that in French. And then when I really started to get into the show, my brain started to hurt, and so I turned it back to English. But it's really cute. It's kind of dumb. It is for kids, so it's a superhero thing where the kids are like 15 years old, and it looks very Saturday morning cartoonish. But I'm getting really into that. I played a little bit more of The Last of Us, and that's basically it. So my show and tell is more of just a tell, as always. But I'm hoping to upload it later tonight. I uploaded a draft, but I did a thing last July. So how many months is that? Like 15 months or something. But last July, we were talking about music videos, or we were talking about editing softwares or something. But I was inspired. You know, I was watching Sean's I think Resident Evil 3 music video. I watched a couple music videos of Jazz's, and this is like 15 months ago, and I decided to make that thing that I had been talking about forever and ever and ever. And I said, oh, it's like 70% done, it's 80% done, it's 90% done, it's done. Now it's like 95% done, because actually I need to toss a title on there and re-upload it to a higher resolution, because when I uploaded it to YouTube, it was all grainy and shit. But aside from that, I finally got it done. I'm really super, super happy about that. But that is about it. And I'm just going to flash it to a quick little bit. But I also did like half of one drawing. Boop. Okay, that's all. I'm not even going to show it. But like I actually did put pen to paper today a little bit. So I'm going to try and start doing that. One of our D&D, our DM actually, has really gotten into Inktober, and he's done like a fully illustrated different character every day of the month, and a lot of them are I don't know, they're just it's really neat to see somebody actually, you know, like put a fully rendered, fully realized drawing out there every day. So that's really fun. That's really inspiring. A lot of them are really like awesome. So I'm gonna try and get into that a little bit. And that is all. We got to catch Sean before he fades away. Sean,
Fading into the darkness.
how was your darkness? Or your
It was
light?
Okay. I finally 100% finished moving and cleaning everything, so everything's good there. I watched some things. I watched the new Salem's Lot movie. It was okay. I saw Joker 2, which was fucking horrible. And I feel like they made that movie just to like slap people in the face that enjoyed the first one. And if that's the case, they did a great job, because that's what I felt. Uh, there's also a Christopher Reeve documentary called Superman in theaters, and I saw that, and it's very, very depressing. And I'm fading away into the darkness. What the fuck?
You mentioned Christopher Reeve. You're dying.
Why is my camera being so stupid? Come on. You can do. Hey, I'm back. So yeah, I watched that. It was good, but it was sad. I watched the Almost Impossible game show, which I feel like is something that Alec should be aware of.
Almost
his
Impossible
people.
game
What is
show.
it? I
My
need to know
people.
It's
what
your
it
Hang
is.
on.
No, I think they're like Irish or something like that. But
Same thing.
yeah. Wow, racism.
Send me a link.
I think you'd like
I
it.
just said that to piss him off.
It's kind of like
Does what?
what is that show called? Wipeout, but it has like two really ridiculous hosts that have such a thick accent that you can hardly understand what the fuck they're saying. But it's really funny, and everybody, all the contestants on the show and everything, everyone's just being really stupid. It's fun.
Where's that on Netflix or?
What is that on? I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
And I watched a little bit more Tomb Raider. Yeah. So have you not watched it, Jazz? Are you not gonna watch it?
I'm gonna wait a bit.
Any
Yeah.
particular reason?
I just yeah, but I don't want to go into it here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've been playing a lot of video games, but not a variety of video games. The only thing I've been playing is Silent Hill 2, but I've been playing a lot of the remake and the original. Um, I think the remake is really, really cool. I feel like it's getting a lot of undue hate. I feel like it's just kind of inevitable for that to happen just because of what it is. And I agree with some of it, and some of it's like perspective. It's like depending on the level of I guess investment that you have with the original, you're going to be a lot more critical towards the remake, and I get that. And there are things to criticize, and a discussion can be had about like, what did what better. But ultimately, I feel like they both do most things very well. So I feel like it's the best we could have asked for, really. I'm happy with it. But yeah, so I got that platinum last week, and I've also been trying to get the platinum on the HD collection of Silent Hill 2, which is, I know it's the worst possible way to play Silent Hill 2. I get it, but it's the only version that has trophies. So I'm trying to get the platinum on that. And apparently, that is one of the hardest games on the PS3 to get a fucking platinum for. Um, I've beat it 3 times so far, but it requires a minimum of 6 runs, and one of them is insane. Like you have to play it on hard mode, hard puzzle mode, hard combat mode. You have to beat it in under 3 hours. You can only save 2 times and take almost no damage, and there's like 10 other factors that you have to do. It's not like you can just like run through it, because like you only have 3 hours to beat it, which is a tight amount of time. But in addition to like trying to run through the game, like there's a bunch of specific things you have to do. Like you have to kill 75 enemies with uh firearms. You got to kill 75 enemies with melee. So you have to like go through, collect 150 items, and like do all these very specific things. So it's like you can't even just try to run through it as quickly as possible and avoid all the enemies. They expect you to go in and do all the things on the hardest mode and do it really quickly. Like it literally seems fucking impossible. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I want to give it a shot. I'd like to do it. But anyways, playing both of those extensively, and while I've been doing that, I've been working on several Silent Hill projects that I don't know if they're all gonna come to fruition, but I'm working on like 5 different things involving Silent Hill that I want to do. Some of them are machinima, some of them are other things, but there's a bunch of videos that I want to make using Silent Hill, and I've been working on that a lot this week. So we'll see what comes of that. Hopefully I can get them all done, but it's a lot of footage to go through, and it's a lot of recording, and a lot of writing and stuff like that. And I have so many other things going on that I want to do. I have to decide how much time I want to invest in it, but something's coming of it content wise. We'll see how many things, but yeah, been doing that. And I got a box from Lee again, so I'll be unboxing that.
In
And
2 years' time.
and it reminded me I need to go back and finish the unboxing video that I was working on before everything went to shit, because it's almost done. I just need to go in there and wrap it up. But again, so many things going on, and that's what typically happens to me. It's like I'll get a groove and I'll work on a project like dedicated. Like I'll just take a whole day or two and I'll just work on it constantly and make a lot of progress, and then I'll move my attention to something else and do the same thing. So like I spend a lot of time working on things, but not enough to actually finish anything. So I need to be more focused on particular goals and accomplish things before I move on to other things. It's a pain in the ass.
Tis the reason.
What?
Get it? Tis the reason. Lee sent you. It's the season. Never mind.
I got it.
Lee sent you. Lee sent you something again. Tis the season. Tis the reason. Never mind.
I get it. I get it. So my show and tells are old PC software. So I bought this a long time ago. It's a shitty animating program
Why does it look like fucking South Park?
And I know,
I
I
had the
know.
manga version of that.
Well, like you can do a bunch of different art styles, and like the South Park style is one of them.
Parappa
And
the
like
Rapper fucking
I don't
characters in the
even know.
background.
I know, but there's just like a lot of cool things that I wanted to kind of experiment with and see if I could do like some kind of like animated dual project or maybe do something like original. But I mean, I bought this. I'm trying to find the date that this was made because I can't even remember how long ago. Probably 20
I'm
years
gonna
ago
guess
I bought that.
2015.
No,
No,
before that.
2005.
Probably like
2009.
2007,
Windows 98.
2008, something like that. But anyways, I bought that with that specific purpose to make content out of it, to make like to see if I could actually make an animated project. And it's been so long that like I mean, this is a fucking relic. It's an artifact that I can't even run on any PC. Like most PCs don't even have a physical DVD drive for me to put it in, and even if I could, it's so old that it just wouldn't work.
2006.
So yeah,
I googled it.
um, but yeah, I'd still like to do that sometime. But it's just funny that I still
Carbon's
have
catchphrase. I googled it.
I
Can
still
I
have
Google
this
it?
floating around. But and this is kind of a similar thing. I bought this around the same time. It's kind of like a Sims kind of ripoff, but you're like running a movie studio. So it's got like sim elements and kind of like it's like a mixture of actually the Sims and like Sim City kind of a thing, but you're running a or theme park. I don't know, one of those things. But you're running a movie studio. But in between like running the studio and doing the Sims elements, you can also actually make like in-game movies where you can like go in and you can like make custom characters as your actors and your characters, dress them up. You have sets that you can film in, and then you have a physical camera where you can actually shoot a movie in the game engine, which is really cool. And I wanted to take that and see if I can make a machinima out of that as well, which is why I bought that. And again, it doesn't work. It's a fucking it's a relic. But yeah, I kept them all this time, and I want to see if maybe I can find like a digital version. Like maybe there's a cracked version online that maybe got modified where I could still kind of play around with it or something. But again, it'd be cool to just kind of play around and see if I can make content out of something like that. But
I'm sure
this is my
there's a
problem now.
newer.
It's like I have all these things going on, and I'm buying software and I'm trying to make content, and like next thing I know, it's been fucking 15 years and I can't do it. So
Did you
again, I
end
need
up
to
using
focus.
the Did you end up using the thing I sent you?
Which thing?
The video editing software.
The Power Director?
Yeah.
Not
So-
yet. I need to download it and then play around with it, but I haven't had a chance to. And again, like there's layers to moving on to new projects because like everything that's in progress right now, I need to make sure that I complete those in the current software before I download a new one and start breaking shit. So yeah,
Yeah, don't be
it's a
me.
process. Yeah.
Don't be me with
I'm
that
well
shit.
aware. I've learned my lessons the hard way.
So did I.
But yeah, I just thought that was kind of a fun little thing that I came across. And then before we get into the news, we're gonna do Jazz has a little thingamabob. She's got a trailer thing that we're gonna talk about. Did you forget?
I didn't know I had a thingamabob. That joke was for Alec.
Ah.
I know I have a thing over.
I already did the looking down thing, and don't think I forgot about the tromboner. Hi.
Hello.
You have an image for me?
I do have image.
Bornness.
Speaking of bones,
It's born.
Bornless.
but there's a bone dude.
But it's bornless.
It's born.
Does that mean like fetus?
I feel like that's
Or-
misleading because it's like there's clearly a skeletal guy there. So you look at it and
he's
it's like,
kind of like a
it should be
angel.
boneless. Well, I guess
He's like
boneless wouldn't make
boneless.
sense either.
He's
It's
like
a
an
weird
angel guy.
image. It's weird.
I'm reminded of the end of the. Oh, never mind.
Anyways, this game this game is called Bornless. Bear with me here because I had all of it fresh in my mind for 2 weeks ago. But yeah, welcome to Bornness. These are not all the notes. Yes, they are. It's a action horror FPS, but don't let that turn you down on the game, because I am actually interested in this game again if it gets made. But nowadays, a lot of games that I present here, I'm like, oh, we never know if they're gonna get made or not, because we keep getting fooled by these fucking trailers of games that never come out. But if you go back and look at all the games I've presented on the podcast, a lot of them have actually come out. Since Sean brought this up to me and asked like how many of them have actually come out, I've gone back and looked, and quite a few, more than we would have thought. So
I think it's just like with Steam games or PC games in general, there's so many of them that it's so easy for them to just get lost. They come out in an ocean of like 10 other games that probably released that same day. So it's just like it's hard to keep track of it whether it came out or not.
it is, but I don't realize it, and I should keep track. But I actually have most of them that I'm like, how did I hear about this game? Oh yeah, I brought it up.
Wow. Oh yeah, that was me.
So I should go back and look at my list of all the games I've talked about and actually give you guys like a recap of like, hey, I've actually played this one. And yeah, so I'll look at that. But for Bornless, now I want to call it Boneless. Making notes was hard because I wrote Boneless a lot. You face off against other players, you summon demons, build factions in a Lovecraftian world. You use black magic with a K. Don't know why they keep writing that, but you acquire powerful weapons, upgrade your safe house, and strategize to survive. It is first of all, it's a multiplayer game, but it is a relentless PvPvE survival horror extraction. It tests your resilience not only against rival players, but against demonic forces as well. So whether you're playing solo or you're teaming up with friends, you have to face off against you just don't have to just face off against other players, but you also have to face off against the demonic forces of the world. You have to decipher ancient totems, kind of like fixing generators. You have to survive deadly rituals. Yeah. Wield everything from powerful spells to fierce weaponry and conquer human. I'm just reading. I didn't put an S. And supernatural adversaries. The game is played in 3 phases, and along the way, you must collect crucial resources, tackle mysterious objectives, and survive the terror that lurks around every corner. So, the phase 1, Sean's favorite phase, loot and explore.
I mean,
whenever I see the word loot, I'm like, Sean's not gonna want to play.
It's not a positive thing. It's like it's a crutch. I do it, but it doesn't mean I enjoy it. Okay.
So the loot and explore, you start in a secluded cabin with your duo partner. You're armed with your standard loadouts and the spoils from your previous missions. You venture through the haunting landscapes, fight for sigils, battle cultists and demons to complete quests, and gather valuable items. So this kind of seems like you're going through the horror like experience, but there's also like other players. So it's a little bit different from like the Dead by Daylight aspects. Like imagine Dead by Daylight, but then like there's other teams that are also trying to do this, and they have like you have to try to like fight them in order to do it first. Phase 2 is the ritual. You have to use incense to activate ancient ritual sites known as gates. Summoning events yield rare sigils necessary for the final confrontation. And each completed ritual exposes you to danger, highlighting your location to rival players. So kind of like fixing the generators, and the bad guys will hear them. I'm just comparing it to that because that's like the biggest like horror PvP. Well, not PvP, but like kind of PvP because like the players are playing the killer online multiplayer game that I can think of right now because it's really big for some reason. Phase 3.
Wow.
Shh.
It
Phase-
is actually really shocking to me, the popularity that game
Yeah.
received. Like, that game should have like come out, did okay, and just faded away. Like, the fact that it's still here, getting all these updates and has the popularity that it has is just like beyond me.
What really surprised me yesterday, and I forgot to mention that because I purchased like all the Five Nights at Freddy's games for $5 each, and I've been playing the first one. What really surprises me is that it's still around, because whenever a new horror like wave comes around, they're like, hey, let's add that in there, and they haven't added Five Nights at Freddy's, and that's like everybody's biggest like, oh, FNAF, it's so spooky, and I'm like, why haven't they added that then? Because imagine all these fucking robot mechanical things popping up everywhere, and like. They
I thought
could
we
work.
talked about that. Didn't they announce that they were doing that a while ago?
I don't know. I don't remember, but I haven't seen if they have. They haven't really updated because I haven't seen anything on that. But
Yeah, I think during one of their events, it was one of those like, hey, we're going to announce more about this later kind of a thing. So it's like they announced it, but they didn't show anything.
makes sense.
Yeah.
See, well, that's why I was like, how come they haven't? But I guess it makes sense if they have been.
Yeah.
And phase 3, sorry, hunt or be hunted. So you have to complete the ritual, invoke the demon, and hunt the remaining players, who have to find the extraction point before the time runs out, so they can escape the island. There's a couple of features you can find all this on Steam, but there's a couple of features like the ritual mode where you immerse yourself in the PvPvE experience of the Bornless. The environment, it's a large open landscape. It's not open world, but it's just a large open landscape. It's probably open world, but they just word it differently so that Sean plays.
Wow. They're trying to trick me.
Yeah, customization and growth. So you can develop from your simple like starter cabin to a fortified base. Seasonal player progression. Now Sean's favorite. Unlockable new skins, loadouts, and other options. I wrote options as you level up. So like clothes. Yay, Sean's favorite. Loot crates, probably. Factions and safe houses. So to engage in global campaigns and seasonal tournaments. So hopefully if this is a good game and it does well, like it's gonna turn like a big, like you'll be able to, I guess like most online games, they're gonna do like big tournament-y thingies. And continuous content and seasonal changes. So each season is going to bring new challenges and unique rewards to keep the gameplay fresh and engaging. I'm kind of hoping that's not. I really hope they don't make this a free-to-play like service game. I hope that it's just.
I mean, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing live service. I'm hearing loot boxes.
Yeah,
I'm hearing battle passes.
It's what it's sounding like, and I'm like, not in a horror game, because I want it to be good. I'm kind of scared that's what it's going to turn into, because that's what it does sound like, but I wanted to bring it up just in case it does sound like a fun thing. And hey, if it turns out to be another PUBG, but it's horror, we play a lot of PUBG, so who knows? Maybe we'll have fun and not pay money towards it and still have fun. But we got the trailer, so you guys can kind of give your opinion towards it and go from there.
Money for PUBG?
You can pay money to unlock things that you can just get just by playing for like 20,000 years and maybe somehow get.
Yeah. I still have not got the shorts I've been trying to get since we started playing.
I still don't have the Claire jacket.
Them.
It reminds me, I don't expect anyone else has played this, but does anybody remember it was like a loot box runner game, and I think it was literally just called Zombie Runner, and it was like it had no end.
I don't play loot box runner games.
Gosh, this had to be about 10 years old, but it like worked with it was mobile. It worked with tilting your phone.
We don't talk about mobile games.
The mobile game market does not exist.
Alec, you added this to your list?
Yeah, I've added it to the Steam list and the other game someone mentioned.
And also, just real quick, you mentioned like rituals, and it made me think of the chant. What happened? Did you finish it?
So you know how I play a game and then I get distracted by something and then I forget where I am? I actually was just thinking about the chant this morning. I was like, where was I? What was I doing? And then I'm like, if I go back, will I remember? I guess I could get back into it. What was that game even about? Oh yeah, it was about this. And then I'm like, I don't want to start over because I remember having a hard time with certain parts. And you know what? I'll just pick it up and then just like continue. What was the main girl's name? Oh man, I have to remember at least that. And I started thinking about it for so long, and then I just took a nap. That's how it went.
Took a
Just-
nap, never thought
I-
about it again.
well, I was like laying down on my bed petting Satan and just thinking about it, and then I just took a nap.
That
He was
sucks. I was
purring.
hoping like you'd really get into it like I did. I thought it was
I
really cool.
I played the shit out of it for like 2 straight days, and then something distracts me, and like I have to get back to these games before I start other ones. But then Star Wars. But anyways, we got a trailer for
That was the
Bornless.
worst reason ever.
Star Wars is never a bad reason unless it's 4, 5, 6. Nope, 1, 2, 3. Trailer. Bornless. No,
no.
that's Sean.
Blur. Oh, IGN.
Oh yeah, you were supposed to remind me 2 weeks ago.
Well, I mean, I forgot.
Video, Sean totally reminded me. It is sourced by IGN.
There you go.
Sean's fault.
Right.
Oh, no.
Sean again. Shame.
Wow.
In darkest night, by the glare of the moon, when shade and shadow start to bloom, light yourself a candle and hold it close. Pray that dear old Phoenix loves you the most.
This island pulls you in. And once it has you, there's no escape. I've lost track of how many corpses are my own. Sometimes I forget why I'm even here, what I'm searching for. The island didn't look like this before. Those who once called this place home have changed. The monsters they worship are even worse. This place belongs to them now. And so we fight. You, me, and all the other seekers. It's them I fear most of all. The strangers lurking in the darkness. The treasure. The ritual. The power it offers you. I wish I could resist. But once you get a taste, there's no going back.
Bornless.
The boneless.
Why?
La la la
La,
la
la, la, la.
Why is it still there? Go away.
It's coming soon.
Go away.
I have mixed feelings. Like it feels like the trailer is probably going to be so much better than the game because that trailer felt well, maybe my headphones are just really loud, but it felt epic. And then I saw like
That felt epic. It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
I
That makes
can't
no sense.
explain it. I can't explain it.
Trailer was good, so obviously the game's not going to be.
I can't explain it. And then midway through when they started showing like the actual monsters, then my opinion changed again. So I can't explain it.
That was a terrible explanation all around.
Yeah. It sounds
I-
kind of like you don't have an actual opinion.
No, I had feelings.
I don't think you know what they are though. I thought it looked cool. I like the visual style, like the character designs, the graphics was really good, especially for like a open world multiplayer game. Like a lot of the times when you're dealing with a game like that, they kind of half-ass the graphics, which can be fine. It's more about the gameplay, but the fact that I'm assuming this is indie-ish,
I think so.
and you know that in combination with a big environment and multiplayer focused gameplay, like it didn't need to look as good as it does. So that's impressive.
So when I looked on Steam, you can add it to the wish list kind of thing, and it says request to join the play. So it will send an email to whoever developers, and they'll send you an invite to play
Early
the game.
access?
Cathedral Studios. They have nothing else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's indie.
And brand new.
I guess the
I
most
felt
important thing is like how well it does within the community, because you need a pretty decent player base to be able to, continue to play it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll be up for giving it a go. I kind of saw the trucks and I'm like, that'd be good just to go around running over zombies and shit like that.
yeah, it's
just
cool. I like
driving
that they got the
the
trucks and stuff.
Well, you like one person's driving and the other one is shooting from the back.
Yeah,
It's cool.
I'll be the driver. You guys shoot.
Oh God,
Hmm.
we're fucked.
What could go wrong?
Well, I mean, it could be worse. I could be the driver.
Exactly.
I mean, we're all terrible at it. Let's be real.
You guys have judged my driving several times in PUBG.
Okay.
Here, Sean, the Steam has a picture. I don't know if you want to show it somehow, but this is what the inventory looks like.
That's like way
That's
more
good.
complicated than I thought it would be.
It looks pretty simple. Like I think it's from your safe room. Like you can add it to your quick screen, I guess.
Oh yeah, I can see that. So it's like the stuff on the right is your inventory. You walk around the inventory, but your left bit is for your chest kind of thing.
Yeah,
I kind of
So
saw it
the
as the
chest and
opposite.
buttons are all right.
But yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. I hope it's good. We'll have to give it a shot.
Matt.
I'm going through
Yeah.
screenshots also. Because these big baddies looked really, really interesting, really nice. But
Why are you being so negative about this game?
what?
That's usually my job.
It seems like you're looking for some kind of a reason that you can't find to hate on this game.
I'm not saying that. No, I'm not.
Because it's Carmen.
Damn it, have I got to get a new character now?
Haven't we just said that I'm like, we had a whole thing where I'm like overly optimistic. Oh my gosh, that angel. That
Are you
like
pivoting? I don't
Yeah.
understand. All right. Anything else on in regard to boneless?
Orness.
Yeah.
That's really
No.
Sea
weird.
bucket.
That was
The
it.
name just doesn't make sense. Oh, the clowns.
All right. Let's see how this goes. We're an hour in, and we have 4,000 news stories to go through. Here we go.
Yeah.
News.
Servers of news.
Time for
You
some
should, you should make that. You
news.
should make that into a audio file, and we'll use it. I'll put it in with the video. All right. Oh God.
I'm still on these screenshots, but never mind.
Could just re-record the clip and then just add it on.
So I'm doing things a little bit differently, and it's way messier than I had hoped. So bear with me. All right.
Technical
The Arcane Season 2 trailer looks awesome. I don't know if you guys watched that, but we're gonna watch that trailer.
No,
What? Why not?
Spoilers?
I don't want to see nothing.
What?
Well,
It
why don't
doesn't-
you excuse yourself for a minute, then I'll message
Yeah.
you saying it's...
No, you can watch it.
Jeez.
I'm going to excuse
Jeez.
myself. No, do it.
Jeez.
You show it.
All right. If I can find it, hold on.
I can find a way.
All right. Are you may
Don't
excuse
listen.
yourself? Here we go.
You've got a good heart. Don't ever lose it.
No matter how the world tries to break you, protect the family.
My sister is gone.
War is coming.
We do not lament death. We avenge it.
We can't change what fate has in store for us. But we don't have to face it alone.
Never a dull moment.
The arcane is waking up.
There's a monster inside all of us. It's time to let the monster out. We'll show them. We will show them all.
Woo.
It looks so good.
Eye candy.
I was just thinking of Linkin Park. Heavy as a crown.
It's like, "Derp,
Yeah,
derp, derp."
I'm very excited for it. But yeah, it was
I
really
don't
cool
have
trailers.
Netflix anymore.
Wow. But yeah, as you can see, the final season will release in 3 acts across November. First on November 9th, then the 16th, and then finally on the 23rd. It looks really good. I highly recommend watching it. The season 1 Blu-ray has been going on sale regularly, and it's currently on sale for up to $20 off on Amazon, depending on which version you get. So if you want to own the series physically and get caught up with the show before season 2, it's a good way to do it. But it looks awesome. I'm excited. It's been a long time since I've seen the original. I need to watch it and refresh my memory. Jazz, are you back? Hello.
No, I told her to go on mute until you finish talking about it, then I'll tell her to come back in.
Okay. Well, we're done.
Oh, okay. That was good.
All right. See if I can find the next one. Where the fuck is it?
I was like, what's Sean looking at?
Oh, there it is. It's at the top. All right.
Oh, that's my favorite band.
Wu Chang, Fallen
Chang
Feathers gets a new trailer. We talked about this. They just revealed it. I can't remember what event it was, but one of the more recent events. They just announced this game, and we watched the trailer, and it looked really cool. But there is another trailer that I want to check out. It's like 3 minutes long. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but it shows a lot of really cool character designs and environmental designs and stuff like that I just kind of want to share with you guys because it looks really cool. I'm excited about it. But this is a upcoming Souls-like action RPG. I'm not a big Souls-like fan, but it seems like every action game is adopting some form of Souls-like gameplay as well. So it's just like, it is what it is. If you're going to play an action game, it's going to be Souls-like in some way. But yeah, it looks really good. It's got a good blend of dark fantasy mixed with bright aesthetics, kind of like I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, but from what I've seen, kind of has a similar art style. Tunisia, in terms of like it is kind of like a dark game overall, but it also has like really bright, colorful areas in it. Kind of a good mixture of the both. This one seems to be doing the same. It has a kind of a magic system mixed with fast-paced combat that feels similar to Ninja Gaiden, which is really cool. I thought that Ninja Gaiden handled that really well, and this kind of seems like an evolution of what they were doing there with like the ninja arts and the different magic integrated with like high-intensity combat, which is really cool. And shockingly enough, it has cool, well-designed characters. I feel like that's not allowed anymore, but this game is doing it. So I appreciate that as well. And then I also noticed a lot of content on offer, including like a wide variety of weapons, lots of different magic spells, and different outfits and stuff like that, which is really cool. Some of the Souls-like games don't allow you to change your armor. I know like Dark Souls does, I think, because you're actually finding like suits of armor and stuff like that. But most of these Souls-like games that I've played, you're just kind of like you're your character and you look the same throughout the entire game. So it's cool to see them doing a little bit, giving you a little bit more variety in terms of like what you can look like and stuff like that. There's no way to know if the armor actually like does anything. I don't know that like you find new suits of armor and it upgrades your abilities or anything like that. But
It changes the weather.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you use the magic and you change the weather. But hopefully they do something like that. It would be nice to see, you be able to kind of change your character build based on the armor that you pick. But either way, even if they just have a variety of outfits that you can choose from, that's still a win to me. But we're going to take a look at the trailer real quick. If I can find it in my mess of shit. What is it called?
What is this?
What the hell is it? Why am I not finding it?
I can't believe. What the hell is this anyway?
There it is. All right. Here we go.
The Ming Dynasty.
Look at the weather.
Vibes.
What?
I'm getting Devil May Cry vibes.
Yeah, a little bit, kind of specifically like Devil May Cry 5 vibes a little bit, but
Like,
which is a good thing.
Was there a scene that the sword was like fucking firing bullets?
Yeah, or it's like a staff or something like that. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Also done.
And
It's
a
pretty.
flamethrower. But yeah, it looks really cool. That trailer's kind of dark and grainy and shit like that, but hopefully you could see it enough to kind of get an idea of what it looks like. But I'm really excited for it. It looks really cool. Hoping it doesn't have an online only component where you have to fucking connect to the internet to play the goddamn thing. That's the only thing that's going to hold me back from picking it up when it comes out. But yeah, it looks really cool. But yeah, the new trailer debuted on the Xbox Partner Preview event or whatever that they just did. Unfortunately, it did not come with a release date. It is slated for sometime in 2025 on PS5, Xbox, and PC. PC.
Per cock.
But it's nice to see a game that's exciting. What,
Yeah.
Carmen? Are you shitting on it?
No.
What's wrong with it?
Because of what Alex said. No.
What's wrong with it?
Just
She was going there on my
nothing.
joke.
I
Per
said it
cock.
looked really pretty.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know it was shown.
No.
What the fuck?
Next one.
Next.
Where is the fucking image? Oh, I think I lost it. I have no image for this one. Uh, but yeah, Silent Hill 2 remake is apparently doing well. Right now, the game is sitting at a Metacritic score of 86 based on 94 critic reviews and a 9.3 based on 1,449 user reviews. There's generally a bit of pushback on the game for one reason or another, but like I was saying earlier, Silent Hill 2 Remake was never going to be universally well received. Given its standing within the survival horror community, it was never gonna be 100% accepted. So it is what it is. But
There's no
given
such thing as
that,
a perfect game. So
yeah. But in this particular case, I feel like it's just open to a lot more judgment than most games are going to be. Kind of similar to like the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Well, you think, these are old games when they first came out. So, think of the young generations like
Right.
that just heard tons and tons of people saying, this is the best shit ever. This is good shit. And then when they come to play, like,
And there's a lot of people too, again, like you said, they played it when they were young, they grew up with it, so it's kind of solidified itself in their mind. And people like that, like it's okay to think that way, but it's just like they hold it in such a high regard, and it's just like, even in terms of like voice acting and stuff like that, even in the parts where the voice acting is bad, they're like, oh well, they did that on purpose because yada yada yada. And that's not the case. It's like we make up reasons for these things to exist in the way that they did before. And so like when you have people doing that, like you can't win just to some of those people, because they're going to find reasons to justify that either the new one's shit or it's just not as good as the original. So you're not going to please everybody. But with that in mind, all things considered, it's being received really, really, really well, which is good. Because like I said, I think it deserves it. On top of that, the game is selling quite well, reaching 1 million units sold in only 4 days. It's estimated to be the best-selling Silent Hill game ever, which is kind of crazy. Sales figures on the franchise are hard to lock down, but the entire franchise pre-Silent Hill 2 remake is estimated at 9 million units sold, with the highest selling title being the original game at around 1 million. So the fact that it hit 1 million just a couple days after releasing is pretty solid.
So I wonder if they're going to focus on Silent Hill 1 remake now.
That's the hope, but it's probably unlikely, because that one's going to take the most amount of work, because like the graphics are shittier, the game is rougher. I feel like there's not as much of an iconic story to play off of, where, they might even have to put more story into it to make it as appealing as the Silent Hill 2 remake, because there isn't as much story going on in the first one. And if they do that, that's really dangerous. So I think it's a more volatile game to approach. But if they're going to do more remakes, I feel like it's kind of mandatory, because if they're going to do 3, you need to play 1 first. I mean, I suppose they could kind of, I don't know, do like a hybrid or not even a hybrid, but they could put something in it that kind of explains all the elements of the first game in a Silent Hill 3 remake, so that you understand the context going from one to the other. But again, if that's a dangerous thing to do, because given that community, it's going to be judged big time. So even if they do that and they do it properly, it's still, it's I don't know how that's going to be received. I don't know how I would receive that, honestly, because I would rather them just do 1 and then do 3 and do it properly. But from a business perspective, I could understand them wanting to, do 3 because it's easier. And
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. I hope that they continue to try to do other games though, either way, because there is the potential that they're going to do it right. But yeah, Konami is generally pretty tight-lipped on sales, but they went out of their way to celebrate Silent Hill 2 Remake's milestone of 1 million units sold, indicating that they are pleased so far with its performance. So that's always a good sign. More remakes or new games could be coming down the road. Bloober Team's director/producer and team director/designer both went on record stating that they will take any opportunity that is offered to them that they like. And given that they are Silent Hill fans, they would likely accept another remake opportunity or even a potential sequel if offered to them by Konami. So it's good that they're open to it. I think it comes down to Konami 100% in terms of like, I think the only way that they're going to do it and kind of take that risk is if it's going to be like mandatory. Like if Silent Hill 2 remake sells enough that it's an overwhelming success and it makes them stupid amounts of money, then they're kind of going to be pressured to, not only by like the community, like the game, like the players, but also by the business folks. They're going to want to see a follow-up, in terms of like, hey, well, how are we going to make another hit where we're going to make a lot of money, kind of a situation.
I mean, I thought they were working on Silent Hill F or some kind of shit.
That's not Blooper though.
Okay.
That's just
Yeah.
a blooper.
Nah. And I guess that's a good question too. Like Silent Hill F is a completely different team. Like, what is that going to be? How is that going to do? That could come out and bomb and rebalance the scale. So like, even if Silent Hill 2 remake does incredibly well financially and then F comes out and bombs, that might completely fuck up the whole thing anyway. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens, but at least it's been a long time since we've had hope for Silent Hill. So it's nice to see this. It's nice to be talking about Silent Hill in the news at all, let alone positively. So it's good. I do hope they get the opportunity though to work on it again, because I think they did good. And speaking of Silent Hill,
Resident Evil has.
GameStop has a whole bunch of exclusive Silent Hill 2 remake merch. The exclusive collection includes a universal headset, a Silent Hill 2 logo sign that lights up, a desk mat, a controller holder, thumb grips, a pyramid head shadow box, a mug, a hat, multiple t-shirts, and for some reason, a custom Silent Hill 2 themed wireless PC controller. So no PS5 controller, the one platform they released the game on exclusively. No controller for that system, but they did one for PC. And what's really fucking weird is the controller is clearly modeled after an Xbox controller. So what? What? It's kind of a confusing choice to me. I don't know. But yeah, there's a picture of kind of what some of these things look like, but some of them look pretty cool. Like the logo light thingy looks kind of cool. And I do like the design of the controller you can see there. But again, like, why is it an Xbox controller? It's weird. They've been kind of... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I thought the game came out for the computer too.
It did come out on PC as well. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like this is a console game primarily. I feel like it's going to sell better on console than it's going to on PC, because that's where most of the fan base is. The original games were exclusive to console, so like a lot of the fan base, the original fan base, is probably going to pick it up on console as well. So I feel like if you had to pick one between making a PC controller and a PS5 controller, I feel like most of the audience is going to be on PS5, so it'd make more sense to make the controller for that, or at least do it for both. But just the fact that they were like, okay, well, we're going to make this game exclusive on one console, and they're going to make a custom controller not designed after that console seems like a weird choice. Yeah. Like, I could understand if, like, okay, well, they prefer that Xbox controller and they gave the exclusivity to Xbox, so they decided to design the controller after that. I get that. That makes logical sense. But to put it on the opposite platform and still design a controller like based off of the platform that you're excluding specifically is kind of a weird choice. I mean, I think it is coming out on Xbox eventually, but it's confirmed that it's going to be a PS5 console exclusive for a year at least. So it's weird. Like, there's even an opportunity there where they could have done like, okay, well, there's a PS5 style exclusive controller to go along with the launch on PS5, and then when it comes out on Xbox a year later, then you could do another controller that's Xbox designed. Like, why not do that? It seems like a weird choice to me. And speaking of Bloober Team, Bloober announces a new survival horror game. Having just recently released the Silent Hill 2 remake to mostly positive reception, Bloober Team isn't slowing down. Instead, they are taking what they learned from the Silent Hill 2 remake and expanding upon it with their first original IP, a survival horror game called Chronos: The New Dawn. The new game got a teaser trailer that showed off the protagonist tracking down a monster in a very Dead Space-esque no-gravity area. And it looks a little weird, but that's kind of Bloober's thing, I feel like. So it kind of thematically it falls in line with the games that they make. But I have a trailer that we're going to take a look at.
I've seen that like font style on another game title before.
It does
like
look
with the thing
yeah,
going through it.
it does kind of look familiar. They stole it, bastards.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Also, just before you go to that trailer real quick, is it true that in the DLC of Silent Hill 2 there's a thing that you can have Pyramid Head's head look like a pizza box?
Yes.
Somebody told me that and I was like, I want to see that. I just want to see what it looks like.
It looks so stupid. You can also
Pizza
you can
head.
get I think there's like a dog head and like a rabbit head thing. They're dumb.
Yeah, but the pizza box, that's just like he partied and he's like, oh shit, I gotta go kill people. He's just dragging a huge sword
Pizza
and just
delivery.
pizza.
It's so annoying to me though, because like they took the time and effort to make those 3 or 4 pieces of like goofy costume content, but they spent no time in like giving James a secondary outfit or giving
Really?
or giving Maria her plastic outfit from the original version of the game. You know, like it just why?
I didn't know that they didn't give the main character a second outfit.
Yeah, it sucks.
They know what people like. People like pizza.
Apparently, I don't know.
They should have had like a James like pizza delivery guy outfit.
Yeah. And it seems weird to me too. Like I don't think I think most of the Silent Hill games don't have like extra costumes other than weirdly Silent Hill 3 has a ton. It's like the only one. But it just like given like Silent Hill is very serious and dark and you know with Silent Hill 2 it's like emotional and stuff like that. Like I get that tone, but they've always made it a point to kind of poke a little bit of fun in there too, like with the UFO ending and the dog ending. You know, there is levity in there, and it to me I think it's even more fun because it is such a serious game. So when you inject a little bit of humor and lightheartedness, it's just a lot more fun. So like it would have been a good opportunity to like have goofy outfits, you know, so you could kind of experience that a little bit more and have fun with it. So I don't know, it just feels like a missed opportunity. And they obviously had that in mind to a degree because they came up with like the pizza box pyramid head thing, right? That's along the lines of the same, you know, concept, but I just wish they'd take it a little bit further. And it's also shitty that they use that as a way for people to spend more money. You know, it's like, oh, buy the premium edition and pay whatever $10 or $20 extra to get a fucking pyramid head pizza box hat. Like, come on, there's better ways to do it.
And you know people are going to.
Oh yeah,
because it's
well. I mean, even more so. Like in addition to that, they also gave people who pre-ordered it or bought the premium edition. They gave them 2 days early access too. So it's like, fuck off. Again, it's not a perfect release. There are things that they fucked up, but
Feck F.
It could be worse, could be better. But yeah, let's take a look at this trailer.
Ooh.
Okay, was anyone else thinking machinima? Like, just think like instantly, it's like, Grandma, just finished work. Fine, I'll play chess, you old bitch.
Thinking Madame of Medan.
Wow.
And I was just thinking the grandma must be like a, I don't know, it just.
Fucking piece of shit.
There we go.
Camera.
Oh.
But yeah, I don't know. I thought it looks really cool. I like the it's definitely feels very Dead Space-ish, which I appreciate. I like Dead Space a lot. And a lot of people were disappointed with what was that fucking game?
Callisto
Protocol, right? So it's kind of another opportunity to do like a new take on a Dead Space game. So that's kind of excited. I'm curious to see like what they're gonna do with his like mechanical transformer arm thing. Like it's cool that it's like a gun and then it turns into a melee weapon. I hope they integrate that into the gameplay somehow. That looks really cool. Yeah, I don't know. Looks good.
Pick your nose, Isaac. Will do.
It's a hell of a teaser. I don't know why it
I like the synth like music too. The soundtrack seems good too.
Hello.
Yeah.
Gave me Dead Space and Death Stranding vibes.
There you go.
A little bit of Bioshock.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, releases sometime in 2025 on PS5, Xbox, and PC. Definitely worth keeping an eye out on. Better fucking get a physical release or I'm going to lose my shit. Alien Isolation 2 is happening apparently. To celebrate, this is crazy to me, to celebrate the original game's 10-year anniversary. That game came out fucking 10 years ago.
They should do a remake.
That's crazy.
Don't tempt them.
Where does the time go? I can't believe that. But the game's creative director, Al Hope, took to Twitter to announce the sequel is early in development, and they look forward to sharing more information publicly when possible. So it's just a quick announcement that, hey, we're doing it. So
they didn't want to do a 10th anniversary of the other Alien games, like Marine Corps.
Oh, God. Why would they do that? Yeah, I've still yet to really play that game. I started it up, but I got distracted, so I didn't play enough of it to really be able to form any kind of an opinion. But I've heard a lot of really good things. I've seen some gameplay on it that looks really cool. Jazz, you've played it, right? I remember you doing some glitch videos on it and shit.
Oh, Isolation? I thought you meant Marine Corps. I was like, no.
No, Isolation.
I played a little bit. I got stuck in the floor.
Yeah, I remember that part.
That was one of the moments where I found my powers as Glitch Raider, Glitchy Rich. Yeah.
Did you like what you played? Oh wow!
Listen. I gave that game a lot of times and a lot of attempts, and I still had not come across an alien. And I'm like, is the alien in isolation? What is happening?
Well, I think that's kind of the point. It's not aliens isolation, it's alien isolation. So I think the point was like there's one alien, kind of like the first movie. So like you're not
Is it
supposed
me?
to have a lot of interactions with the
There's
alien. So
more than one alien.
when
Sean.
that alien does come about, it's kind of a bigger deal because you're not expecting it. It pops up randomly.
So the
So
final boss.
As well.
I don't know. I just like I was kind of disappointed that I thought it was gonna be a really spooky game with like alien crawling around. You never know where they're gonna come up, but no, it's just crazy people on the ship. I'm like,
No, you basically just go around with the little monitor in front of you going ping pong ping pong. Story about the ping pong crawling story. Yep. Fix the puzzle. Okay.
it wasn't what I was expecting for an
It was
alien
alright.
game. I was expecting aliens.
And
Yeah.
action.
I'm
I
the
watched a
alien.
walkthrough on it. I know what happens in it, so it's just like, yeah, it's alright.
I don't know.
Or
From
an alien
what
at
I
the end.
understand, it seems like they were trying to do something different, because like I think most people kind of have your expectation of like, oh, it's alien, it's action and shit like that. But like that's not I feel like a lot of Alien fans don't even think that way because like Alien started out as like a slow, methodical horror movie, and then it over time it became more action and explosions and shit like that. And it's kind of gone back and forth, like Alien 1 was slow and then 2 was action and then 3 was slow.
Phil?
It's kind of gone all over the place. But in terms of like video games, almost every interpretation of an Alien game for the most part has been more action focused. So for them to kind of take a step back and approach it from like a slower paced, like you are just kind of walking around, the alien could pop out at any time kind of a situation, I thought was kind of a cool place to take the franchise in terms of like video games.
I
But
will say though, like from my playthrough, or like not playthrough, but like play of, um, like it wasn't like okay, I didn't enjoy playing it, but I did watch the because I brought it up on one of the first podcasts that I hosted. I did bring up when they were making the third person view of the cutscenes of it. I don't remember her name, but it's like Ripley's daughter or something, looking for her.
yeah,
And so I did watch that and I did enjoy that as like the cutscenes being made, but like from a point of view. So like as like a little mini series. And so I still got to see kind of like the story of the game in a way without all the the playthrough. So I did enjoy that. Like I like the story of the game and everything, but I don't think it's a game that I'd be able to play through unless like I tried it again and played it like in the dark with headphones, and maybe it would put me like in the spot or whatever in the atmosphere. But
it's weird because it seems like that's like the kind of game that you like a lot of the time, where it's like first person horror, slower pace. Like a lot of the games that you play like that don't have any elements of action. It's just straight like mood and atmosphere. And from what I understand, at least like Isolation does that, but it also does have combat as well. It's kind of.
yeah, but I know, like I got far enough to know that most, or from what I've seen, like it has a lot of, you're just basically like fighting other people.
Yeah, there's like androids or something, right?
Yeah, and it's not like from what I play most of the time, it's like horror first person, it's the atmosphere, and then there's like demonic shit happening all over the place. Like
So you're just more partial to like horror than like sci-fi horror?
yeah, like I think because of Fallout, androids like they're not really scary. Like I played one game with like androids and that was really scary, but there was just like I don't know, they're not as spooky like robots. I don't know, Terminator made it funnier than scary, I think. Like when I was a kid, Terminator wasn't really a scary movie. And so like I don't know. Even though that's like the most realistic thing that could happen in all of the horror games and shit that we play.
Yeah.
Robots is what's gonna get us, but I don't know.
Well, either way, I think it has a big enough following that it, having a sequel is going to be good. I think
It's a
there's an
good
audience for
game.
that.
It's just not. I didn't particularly care, but
Yeah, I was just curious because I can't really say anything. I just know what I've heard and seen, but since I haven't really played it, I don't feel like I have a valid opinion either way. So, but I mean, I hope it's good. I mean, what I would like to see from an outside perspective is like to see them maybe put a little bit more like I don't
aliens.
know action. Not I mean, not even necessarily action, but like interaction. You know what I mean? Because like I complain all the time, like I don't like just walking around and that's like the whole game. Just put something in there for me to do in addition to that. Like it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm fighting aliens all the time kind of a thing, but like find some way to implement something where I feel like I'm playing a video game rather than just kind of walking around in an empty space. I feel like that's just really it adds a lot of depth to the experience, whether you're like I don't know, doing like puzzles that require you to find like elements and or like balancing an inventory or combat or like there's got to be something in there that's engaging you in terms of like gameplay. Like it is a video game. So like I want some gameness in there. I
Less
just
ping
want a little
pong.
bit more. Yeah. But anyway.
What are you
Capcom
doing, Sean?
It's not my fault. I had to. It's the only thing I could find that made sense. Capcom wants to make Resident Evil 9 great again.
Well, forget about Village then, and
Uh,
7.
I mean, since that was the last like mainline Resident Evil game, I thought it was appropriate. But just recently, the Resident Evil 4 remake hit 8 million units sold and holds a 93 on Metacritic. According to accurate Resident Evil info leaker Dusk Golem, he says the team is working on RE9, or the team that is working on RE9 are truly working on the most ambitious game yet. And they acknowledge that a new mainline RE game has not reached a score above 90 since the original Resident Evil 4. They know the expectations are high and are working hard to meet that expectation. So their goal is to make a game worthy enough of exceeding a 90 score for the first time since Resident Evil 4. I don't know that that's possible. Like, unless I don't even know how they would do it because the audience is so split now. There are people that like the Village garbage. There's the original fan base. There's the in-betweeners. There's the people that like the remakes. So like, for them to get an overall 90 score, there's going to be people in all those camps reviewing the game. So like, how do you appeal to every single one of those groups
Kill all
without
those people and start over the fan base.
without making a Resident Evil 6 again? Because that's exactly what killed Resident Evil 6 is like they were trying to appeal to everybody and they fucking pissed off everybody instead. So it's kind of a dangerous perspective to have is like, oh, we want to be seen as the greatest Resident Evil game ever. Like, how do you make that happen?
Stop making games for the series. Just let it die.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah,
You'll be happier in the end once you get to the acceptance part of it, and then it's like, okay, trust me.
I've been mostly happy with the remakes. Like, I'm glad those exist. I'm not glad Village exists. I could have done without 7.
look, even the weather in this picture is garbage.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. It's nice to see that they're being ambitious and trying to put the mainline Resident Evil line of games like in a good place, but I don't see how. I don't see how they can save it. I want them to, but we'll see. We'll see.
Do Resident Evil Outbreak. It's the right generation, with the internet as far as it can be now. It's the right time to do it.
That's never going to happen.
I know.
It's never going to happen. I think if Resistance did really well, maybe it would have happened. But since it was garbage and everyone hated it, I don't think that's ever
It's gonna
gonna.
be Resident Evil 9 Cottage.
It's never
Jeez.
gonna. Oh, wow.
Here's Cottage.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A new survival horror game starring a chicken is coming.
I want it. Okay.
The game is called Cerberus, and you play as a chicken named Giselle trying to escape a slaughterhouse. The player will guide Giselle through dark, oppressive environments while solving puzzles, manipulating objects with her beak, and evading slaughterhouse workers and other animals who have been mutated through genetic experimentation.
This is
game-
what Resident Evil needs to do.
The game is being developed by a single person for PS4, PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC. No release date as of now, but there is a playable demo on Steam if you want to check it out. But I fully support this. Survival horror with chickens. Let's go. I'm ready. All right. I'm going to not do any more images because it's a pain in the ass and it's taking forever to get through them. Yeah, Plague Tale Collection has been announced. The PS5 exclusive collection will include both a Plague Tale Innocence and Requiem together in a steelbook case with exclusive artwork for only $50. The game releases on December 5th and can be pre-ordered now at retailers like Amazon, Best Buy, and Target. That's cool.
Nice. See, good things happen.
Not enough.
Does it come with a physical copy of Requiem?
Yeah, it's a steelbook.
Yeah, but
well, I mean, I guess it could be an empty steelbook.
Yeah.
But yes, it is on disc.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's cool. And $50 is a great deal. $25 a piece. That's fair.
75.
And the fact that it's not a remaster makes me even more happy. Ubisoft is trying to salvage Star Wars Outlaws. I know you're liking the game, Jazz, but we're going to shit on it a little bit. I apologize. Outlaws is one of Ubisoft's most expensive releases to date, with an estimated budget of $250 to $300 million. At the end of September, the game has only sold around 1 million copies in 30 days, which is substantially worse than Silent Hill 2 remake, which is not good for a Star Wars game. With a budget this size, the game is projected to be a massive failure. This is due to many factors such as the poor reception of the protagonist and the story, bad AI, terrible instant fail stealth missions, as well as a slew of performance issues. The game had countless problems that varied from being immersion breaking to hard locking the game entirely. Ubisoft has been working on damage control to make the game more enjoyable through bug fixes and patches. This second patch is going to include over 100 fixes, which for a single player game is insane. 100 fixes? Fuck.
Holy shit.
That just goes to show you how fucked up and broken that game was upon release. So, I mean, I'll give them, like, it's good that they're continuing to try and salvage it, that they're for the audience that is there, they're trying to make it playable and more enjoyable. That's good. But for a game that cost $250 to $300 million to make with an IP as big as Star Wars, for it to be that fucked up on release is just inexcusable. Like, whether they fix it on the back end or not, that's bullshit. That should not be enabled. More layoffs hit the industry. Shocking. There have been a few more reports of smaller studio layoffs over the last month or so, but some of the more notable in the bunch are League of Legends developer Riot Games, Smite developer Hi-Rez, and Xbox again. Riot is laying off 32 of its staff, specifically within the League of Legends team, which adds to the 500 layoffs the developer suffered back in January. The news came from Riot co-founder Mark Merrill, who said, "I want to share some important updates about League of Legends PC. We've made changes to our teams and how we work to make sure we can keep improving the league experience now and for the long term. But I want to be clear. We're not slowing down work on the game you love. We're investing heavily in solving today's challenges faster while also building for the future. As part of these changes, we've made the tough decision to eliminate some roles. This isn't about reducing headcount to save money. It's about making sure we have the right expertise so that league continues to be great for another 15 years and beyond. While team effectiveness is more important than team size, the league team will eventually be even larger than it is today as we develop the next phase of league. For rioters who are laid off, we're supporting them with a severance package that includes a minimum of 6 months' pay, annual bonus, job placement assistance, health coverage, and more. So yeah, another bunch of
That's
people
not
losing their
bad.
jobs. And
That's
I mean, it still seems like a bunch of bullshit. Like every time they fire people, they try to make this restructuring claim and like, oh, we're not trying to save money and this and that. But like, come on, this company, like they're just Arcane is a huge success. League of Legends is a huge success. They're just putting out Arcane season 2. Like they should be in a good place financially with a promising future. So like you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, how are they in a position where they have to lay off more people? Like they clearly should be in a successful place as a company. So why? Why restructure? Why it just doesn't it sounds like bullshit to me. And like every time there's layoffs in the industry, it's the same thing. It's like, oh no, we're not trying to save money. We're just restructuring. It's for the good of the company. So fuck the people.
Yeah, fuck the people.
As for high res, it was not disclosed as to how many people would be let go, but the cuts will directly impact all parts of the company. In regard to Smite, this will primarily affect the team working on cosmetics and system features. Their main focus will be on prioritizing gameplay and new gods. This news comes shortly after the release of paid early access for Smite. Again, it's like, oh, we're going to release our brand new popular big project, and then we're going to lay off a bunch of people. Like, this is how they tend to do it typically. And again, we've talked about like this used to
everyone
be okay
who made
because
it possible.
things used to be different where it's like contract based. So it's like, it used to be acceptable to be like, okay, we're going to work on this because we have a contract, and then we're going to be let go and we're good. Communication. But every time this happens, it's supposedly, full-time permanent employees that are just getting terminated as soon as the product comes out. Not great.
I want, game credits to come up with everyone that came up for it, and then it's like whoever was fired 5 minutes after this game.
No, they should, all the people that they fire, they should remove their names from the credits. Like, oh, wow, this game was only made by 10 people? Wow. Impressive.
I know, right?
And finally, Xbox, who are laying off another 650 employees by eliminating positions within its gaming team specifically. That's always fun.
How many people?
650.
Oh, I thought it was 360. I thought that would have been really fun.
That would have been so good.
Don't give them ideas.
Like we need exactly this many.
I mean, honestly, if it was me, I would just fire another 10 people just to hit that.
But you said 500 and...
Or, oh, yeah, no, 360. Yeah, still.
That would have been better.
Or just split it in two, do 360 and then do another 360.
Just to have 720 gone.
Yeah.
And then just one, the Xbox One. And
yeah, fire them one at a time. But yeah, not great. They did note that no additional studios have been closed and no games have been canceled. Like that's some kind of a win. Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer said the cuts came as part of Microsoft's effort to align the company's post-acquisition team structure and managing of our business. Again, just this corporate bullshit speak to justify cutting people to maximize profit. But yeah, the layoffs continue. Speaking of dead Xbox things, 343 Studios is restructuring the Halo franchise. They should just kill it. Just get rid of it. Like, just stop. Halo developer 343 Studios is rebranding to Halo Studios
Brandon.
and is changing a lot about how they approach the series. Instead of focusing on creating and maintaining a single project at a time, the team will now be split into groups to be able to work on multiple projects at once.
Of course.
Which sounds like a great idea, right? Oh, we can't
Never split the party.
We can't create and manage a single project. Let's do several at once. Yeah, that'll be great. They currently have multiple games in development, though it's been said that none of them will be finished anytime soon. So don't hold your breath.
Go figure.
Along with the new studio name and game design approach comes the switch from Halo's in-house engine to Unreal 5. So they're making it more generic. So that's great. The switch is being made to a more universal engine to make it easier for developers to use the engine for updating and implementing content among new and existing staff. So I get the desire to like use to use like a mainstream engine for accessibility or ease of access, I guess, but that kills creativity. Like if every game is built off of two existing engines because they're more streamlined, like that's just going to nerf creativity and variety. So like shit, if you felt like Halo was turning into Call of Duty before, and now it's really going to feel like that. Yep.
Wow.
And there's all kinds of other dumb shit going on with Halo 2, and like they showed a I guess it was technically it was a tech demo, but I guess it was like a usable, like it was in a usable game space that they created. So it's like they made a tech demo, but everything that they made for that tech demo is technically usable in the next Halo game or something like that, and will probably look like what they showed to some degree. And I don't know that it was Master Chief that they showed, but they showed some kind of Spartan armor in the video, and it looked terrible. It looked fat. Like it looked like they widened it for some reason, because again, like we can't have attractive forms. It's not acceptable. So it's just like they made it look chunky and weird, and I'm just like, do we really have to do that with everything?
They gave him pockets for all his snacks.
It's armor. What the fuck is the deal? Anyways.
It's chunky armor.
Speaking of chunkifying things, Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver remasters have been confirmed. The Soul Reaver collection will include Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered together. And like the Tomb Raider remasters, you can switch between the original remastered visuals and the original. Some quality of life improvements are being added, like a compass and a map, photo mode, and trophies and achievements. Typical remastered shit. News of this collection was leaked multiple times through a PlayStation Network leak and again through an advertisement on a statue sold at Comic-Con. The collection will launch on December 10th for PS4, PS5, Xbox, Steam for $29.99. It's not bad. It's a reasonable price. No word on a physical release, but since the publisher is Aspyr, who is under the same umbrella as Limited Run Games, we'll probably see a physical release for them at some point, which means we'll have to wait for a year before we get the physical release, which is always great. And there's probably going to be a $400 collector's edition just to piss me off. But unfortunately, it isn't all good news. Many people are pointing out some of the inevitable modern day meddling done in the remaster, like a statue seen in the trailer that was clearly altered to look less feminine and more androgynous.
Androgynous.
But I have a picture somewhere if I can find it. And again, like it's so annoying. Like we're doing this with everything, not just people. We're doing it with armor, and we're doing it with statues, and like where does it stop? Yeah, so right here, this is
fine.
floating around. So the one on the left is the original, the one on the right is the new one. So they kind of manlied up the face a little bit. They gave her more of a boxy frame, took away the curves. Why? And like it's clearly not just like this is a result of us like redoing the model in a better engine or whatever. Like clearly there's design choices made in there where they they redesigned elements of the statue. Why?
It looks more human.
Yeah, a little bit. But why? It's a goddess. It's like I don't know. It just seems very unnecessary. Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Wilds gets some crazy collectible stuff. Capcom is partnering with guitar company Fender to make a Rathalos-inspired guitar to celebrate the franchise's 20th anniversary. The guitar is designed to evoke the majestic presence of a Rathalos on the body and on the rosewood fretboard with a faux tortoise shell pick guard. The guitar will cost
$3,000.
$2,000 and have limited distribution.
That was close.
You were pretty damn close.
Off by 1,000.
Yeah. Not only that, but Monster Hunter Wilds is getting a collector's edition. How much do you think that's going to cost? It's not as expensive, for the record.
$399.
700.
No, $199.
Is that your Rathalos guitar, Alec?
Yeah, it turns out I have one.
That's
of
his
these as well.
Walmart brand Rathalos.
Wow, spray paint it red and you're good to go.
Yeah, I can do that.
But yeah, so the collector's edition, it comes with the usual stuff: a steelbook, a copy of the game, baby Secret plush stuffed animal thingy, a weapon bag pouch, and a fucking bike, like a bicycle.
Yeah, why not?
Like a real one?
750.
Yeah, like a rideable bicycle.
They're like, stop playing our games, go out for a ride, stop wanting new stuff.
And
Why
you
is
can
that
get
kind
it,
of awesome?
and you can get it for only $1,260. Yeah,
I was close with my 700 and
Yeah.
something.
it's a little crazy. But this is all the shit you get. There's the bike.
That's an ugly bike.
Oh, that's
Isn't
not.
it? Not yeah.
Oh, that's
That
not
is
worth
the
Not
it.
worth-
shittiest collection I've ever seen.
Not worth $1,200.
It literally looks
No.
like something from Wish.
It does kind of a little bit, yeah.
And then you'll get it, and it's actually like a finger bike.
Even the steelbook looks kind of shitty. Like they just took a random screenshot from the game and slapped it on there and called it good. It's
Yeah.
weird. Yeah, not that impressive.
The plush looks shitty too.
It does.
Wow.
And the bike's probably a death trap. So
No, I think it's I don't think it's a real life size bike. Like I think it's like the finger skateboards, but a bicycle.
no, it's a real bike.
No, that's what they say, but
Yeah,
That
it's made out
reminds
of
me
plastic
something.
though.
then
That
like
reminds
you're
me
just
of-
missing what it says in Japanese. It says like actual size.
Yeah.
That reminds me of something completely unrelated, but yet somehow related. You know these big.
You need to learn what words mean.
You know what words mean?
Completely unrelated can't
And-
be, but somehow like
A little bit. Okay, not
Segue.
completely unrelated. Like 85% unrelated. Okay, so you know these big makeup companies and big like perfume companies and
Found the image I was
things
looking
like that.
for. That's some of the
Last
collector's
couple of
edition
years-
Silent Hill stuff too.
Last couple of years, I saw it last year and I'm seeing it again this year. When it comes Christmas time, these companies, I think it's Sephora, start making these advent calendar things for like $1,000 where you pop out, for December 1st and 2nd and 3rd, and you pop out each little calendar date for a small daily prize. And these things cost about $1,000 or $1,200 or something like that. And they've been getting absolutely backlashed and shat on for the low quality of you're paying $1,000 for like a little present to yourself, and the things are worth like maybe $50 or $100 or just absolute trash. And it kind of feels like this a little bit. Same kind of realm. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's not great. It's like Capcom's really becoming like well known for this too, especially in terms of like Resident Evil shit. Because they did the I want to say it was like $1,100 or something like that for a collector's edition of Resident Evil 6 that came with a Leon jacket, and they did a $1,200 collector's edition, I think, for Village. It came with Chris's uh, overcoat or whatever the fuck it was, and Resident Evil 2 remake had a $1,000 collector's edition that came with a typewriter, and specifically with the typewriter one is like they barely modified the typewriter at all. I think all they did is maybe change the color slightly, made it like a little bit darker, and they slapped a biohazard logo on there, I think, and that was all that they did.
Oh,
And they're
wow.
giving you I think it was like a $200 typewriter, and they're charging you like $600 for it. So not great. not cool. But yeah, so you can see the controller there a little bit better, and it clearly has like the X, Y, A, B buttons like after an Xbox controller. So again, it's just kind of weird that they decided to do that.
Hmm.
And then there's the steelbook for the Plague Tale.
That looks nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's cool too because I think they actually give you the case, like the original case, with the steelbook as well. So like, it's kind of nice to have both. But yeah.
Why have we gone foresty, by the way?
Oh, what the fuck? We're in the forest. That is weird. Why did that
in
happen?
the forest
of time.
I think I've noticed that for a while, but didn't realize it was.
Get the fuck out of here, Forrest.
I saw that for a while, but it didn't occur to me that that was wrong.
How long have we been in the forest?
Like 3 minutes.
Jesus Christ. That's so weird. I don't know how that happened.
It was
Anyway,
like, oh, pretty colors.
And so nobody here probably knows what these games are, but I do, god damn it. But old school turn-based RPGs, Lunar 1 and 2, are getting a remaster collection. Carmen, you actually know what that is?
Well, I remember Lunar Star Story, and like that song from Lunar Star Story is still in my heart. And I never played the other ones, but it was very beautiful. I loved Lunar.
Yep. Well, good. I'm glad somebody other than me knows about it. But yeah, these are two iconic JRPGs from the early 90s that are highly regarded. However, they are fairly rare and expensive, making them not very accessible. Originally, I think the first one came out on the Sega Saturn, which was a doomed console to begin with. And then I think it got ported over to PlayStation 1, and it had a very limited release. And then the second one had an even smaller release. So they became very rare. Luckily, Sony will be pairing both of these games together for an HD remaster that updates the visuals and audio, plus adding quality of life improvements like battle speed up, improved strategy settings, and re-recorded English dialogue. I don't know how I feel about the dialogue. It could be nice because it is very, like, the voice acting in that is very 90s, so it is kind of not great. But again, we go back to that conversation of, you piece of shit camera. We go back to that conversation of, like the Silent Hill 2 remake in terms of like the fan base and expectations and stuff like that. Like even if they do it right, like, is it really what people are going to want? And I don't know. I guess it's good that they're doing it for like the newer audience. It's going to have that higher expectation for like a better quality dub. And then that'll be for them. And then the people that like the original can just not use that, I guess. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm looking up the price of Lunar. Well, Star Story, at least. And oh my God, some people want like $1,400 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's selling it for $10 on the Saturn.
It's probably broken. It probably doesn't work, or it's a reproduction.
Or it's an NFT.
What was that, Alec?
Yeah, so it's cool to see them.
NFT.
making these games more accessible because they are really good. If you like, old school turn-based RPGs, if you don't, you're going to hate these. So it's for a specific audience.
Oh my gosh, I'm that audience.
Me too. I love the Lunar games a lot, so I'm really glad that they're doing this. The collection releases spring 2025 for PS4 and PS5. Looks like no Xbox or PC version. PlayAsia is listing a pre-order for a Asia physical release, but nothing has been made official. And considering that PlayAsia still has Resident Evil 9 as pre-orderable on there, I kind of question if this is real or not. I don't know. It's kind of sketchy, but hopefully it gets a physical. We'll see. Dragon Quest III remake, another fucking remake, is getting hit with censorship. Yay, more censorship. My favorite thing. Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 are all getting HD 2D remakes. So I don't know if this is a collection or if they're doing these individually or maybe both, but they're all getting remade. And again, this is weird. This goes into that fucking weird territory of remakes and remasters and reboots and reimaginings and what the fuck is what, because like still it's still 2D, it's still sprite based from what I can tell. So like this looks like a remaster, but they're calling it a remake. And then you had Dead Rising Deluxe remaster, which is a remake. Like they're calling things the wrong thing. So I don't know what is happening. But anyways, let's just stop. But
rebuys and get on with it.
Redos, rerees. But yeah, what's most frustrating about this is that Dragon Quest III specifically is getting slapped with the modern treatments. Some of the female character designs are being censored. Cleavage is being removed from a character in a bunny suit, and a couple characters in bikini-ish armor are getting underclothes to cover up the skin. Not only is this stupid, but it's really disrespectful to Akira Toriyama, who designed these characters in the 80s. He died earlier this year and isn't around to speak on it anymore. So the fact that they're taking something that he created and they're essentially ruining it for a modern audience is kind of disrespectful. Like, I feel like if they feel that that it was too inappropriate to make it as is, like maybe just don't touch it. Just leave it alone. If you can't be respectful to the creator who made it, without offending people or disapproving of that content, like just leave it alone. Like don't fuck with it.
Are we sure we didn't get his blessing?
He was dead.
I mean, like
these just got announced recently, and he died in like January, I think. And
because things
people
works.
People like his other artists within like similar projects like that worked on like Dragon Ball and stuff like this, they actually commented about it saying like this is unnecessary and disrespectful. And those people got attacked for criticizing the changes that they made. So I really highly doubt that he would approve of them doing this. But I got pictures of kind of what they're doing here. So the one on the upper right hand side is actually something, it's a different game in the Dragon Quest series that kind of started this idea of, oh, we need to censor these games. The one on the right is the original design. You know, she's just kind of wearing like a bikini thing. And then on the left, you can see they put some kind of like fabric underneath to cover up some of the skin. And then the two more anime style designs, those are the designs from the Dragon Quest III remake. So the ones on the left, or the one on the left with the red armor is the original. So it's just like a bikini kind of armor. On the right, you can see they put the little kind of similar thing. They put the fabric below or underneath it. And then the bunny one, they removed the cleavage and they removed the alcohol label on the bottle. Because
that might be a censorship thing for Japan, maybe.
This was made in Japan by Japanese people.
Okay, so the 3D animation one above the bunny, that looks like trash, but the rest are fine, in my opinion. And that's just because the design is bad. Like they could have covered that up in a way that looked aesthetically better. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It feels like it doesn't look like it fits.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they could
And
have
that
done a cover up that made more sense, is what I'm saying. You could do a cover up maybe, as long as it makes sense. It reminds me.
but the fact that they even had to go in and like make the effort to retool these designs is just kind of fucked up. Like, one, it's not necessary, and two, it's not yours. Like I would be okay with this if the creator did this and he's like, well, this is how I feel it should be today. I
Mhm.
still wouldn't agree with that, but it's his to do what he wants to do with it. He can do whatever he wants. So if he wanted to modernize it or whatever and change it, fine. But the fact that he's not involved with this is just, it's fucking unacceptable. It's not right to do that. And it's not necessary. This shit has existed since fucking the late 80s or whatever. And it's been fine
Mhm.
this whole time. And then all of a sudden, it's a problem.
Oh,
Like,
I just noticed her boy shorts underneath the loincloth or
Mhm.
the loin plate.
I'm honestly
Mhm.
surprised they didn't cover up the midriff section as well. Like, it just, what the fuck is the problem? Anyway.
Mm.
Alec, you're a squirrel. And you don't have a gun.
Chipmunk.
Oh,
Yeah. Poor Alec.
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, I heard it a couple times too, and I didn't connect the dots until I saw Alec. I was like, oh yeah, this is normal for him. Did we determine what's causing that? Is it just his connection?
He does cocaine.
no. Don't start rumors.
Can't hear you, Alec.
Am I still scrolling?
There we go. Nope, you're good.
Oh, no, he was.
Oh no, I think we did determine. Isn't it like when you try to like open up web pages or do other things outside the stream? I think it fucks with your internet connection, I think is what it was.
That happens with me, and I will not admit to anything.
What?
Admits to it, and then I will not admit to it.
I've had similar problems.
Any more news?
Yep. More not censorship. Well, kinda. It's more I don't know, I guess I would just call it modernization, but Dragon Age, the Veilguard is pushing DEI really, really hard. First
I don't love that.
is the character creator, which purposefully restricts elements primarily on the feminine side in terms of like when you're creating your character, you're not like you can hardly adjust the boobs and the butt at all. So if you look at, there was a comparison video that I wanted to use, but is that it? There it is. Yeah. Okay. So the butt right there is at 100%. The boobs also at 100%. So like, how is that inclusive and progress? Like, are you telling me that women don't have not small butts and they have no boobs? Like, isn't this restricting people creating themselves in the game? Because like that's not very big, and again, that's 100%. There's no reason for that. It's crazy.
Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah.
That you can't go lower than fucking watermelons.
Right. And I mean, ultimately, it should go both ways. You should be able to make it teeny tiny and absolutely massive. And for a variety of reasons, whether that's making yourself in the game or you want to mess around with a character or make a cool looking character and you have a specific idea of what that looks like. There's so many, or if you want to just make a goofy character, make everything big and stupid and have fun with, like, there's a million reasons to have both sides of it, whether it's fun, this is a video game after all, or it's inclusion, Like, you should have more variety there. This is fucking bullshit.
I have to agree with you, because it's kind of weird sometimes when no matter what you do, like, you can't make a heavy set character. You know what I mean? Like, they're just
Mhm. What's extra weird though is you can actually widen the torso, so that you can make like an overweight or a bigger
big boned,
character, but they
fuller.
can't have big boobs to go with it or a fat ass. They just get bigger in the mid area. It makes no
And
fucking sense.
honestly,
Like,
that doesn't happen.
no, it doesn't. Like, that's my point, is like, this is clearly done on purpose. Like, there's a reason behind why they're doing this, and it is not inclusion. And then again, on the flip side of that, meanwhile, they made sure to add top surgery scars that you can add onto your character. There's pronouns that you have to pick when you're creating your character, and there's a non-binary gender. So again, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, are we actually being included? Like, it's one thing to put these elements in addition to other, keeping what's been there and accommodating everybody. Like, that's one conversation to have, right? But it's another to be like, okay, well, fuck this column of people, but we're gonna, like, since I'm usually, this is coming from people who identify with this kind of stuff. It's somebody that's non-binary making these choices. It's somebody who has pronouns and stuff like that.
We
They're
all have
forcing
pronouns.
their own shit in here while excluding other people, probably groups of people that they don't like. So, like, that's the problem here. And they're saying, oh, this is DI, it's inclusive, oh, it's good, but it's a lie. It's bullshit. That's not what they're doing. They're pushing their own personal perspectives and things that they identify with and eliminating the things that they don't. And that's not inclusion. It's fucking bullshit. And apparently they also sideline, like, I'm not a big Dragon Age person. Like, I've seen a good amount of the original game that looks really cool. It's games that I've been meaning to go to and play. I think they're games that I'm going to like, but I don't really have a valid point of view in terms of the games because I haven't played them enough to say anything. But people are getting upset with this game because they're apparently sidelining some of the past characters who are going to be in this game in favor of new, like, diverse characters. Like, literally big mainline characters have very microscopic supportive roles that you have like minimal interactions with, in favor of characters that are literally coming in and like pandering. Like, there's a companion character, I think it's the first companion character that you get in the game, literally in the story comes up to you and tells you that they're non-binary and explains to you what that means, that they don't like men and they don't like women, and this is who I am and my pronouns are this, as part of the story. Like, that's fucking horseshit in any way that you're talking about. Because if a character came into the story and came up to me and is like, I'm a dude and I like women and blah, 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 that'd also be really fucking stupid and annoying, and it shouldn't be there. So, like, to do this in any form is just it's nonsense. What the fuck does that have to do with the story? Nothing. Like, they're forcing this in and it doesn't belong there.
I think if they did it right, is that because the amount of when it is included or not, you and I usually differ on. The flat ass thing, I'm agreeing with you about. But if maybe they did it more seamlessly, and like, if they did a better job of including it, then you'd have less of a problem with it.
What, the flat ass thing or what?
Well, no. Oh, the hello, I'm X and my gender is non-binary, and this means this and that and the other thing. If he just said hello, I'm X and I go by that, or hello, I'm X, the end.
It doesn't need to go beyond that. Just be like, I'm so and so. how's it going? And you're done. Like, why? I
Mhm.
don't need to know anything else. Like,
It's
why?
not a real world interaction where you could accidentally misgender the person and offend them. It's a video game and it
Mhm.
doesn't have any impact in the storyline or in the gameplay itself. So like
Right.
I understand that in a real world, or even if they want to put it in like a TV show or a movie, because I've seen TV shows now that start doing that where characters will introduce themselves like that because that's just how the world is now. But I agree that in the video game it has no impact on the game, and it's just it shouldn't be in games. Not saying it shouldn't be anywhere. I'm just saying it shouldn't. There's no reason for it because what are you supposed to do with that information?
Right. It's
Right.
that's the biggest problem is like this is clearly done as a statement by one of the creative people, just like the limitations on the character creator are saying something, right? Like, why can I not go beyond these two
Yeah.
examples here? What the fuck does that mean? Why is that okay? And then you're implementing all this other stuff that is okay. Like, what? And then you're saying this is inclusive? Like, how? That doesn't make any sense. And this, like, every game is implementing this to not every game, but a lot of games are implementing this in varying degrees, and a lot of it is because there are companies that are working with game developers with that purpose to inject things like this into games. And they're if you look into some of these people, most of the people that are founding these organizations and or work for them are fucking terrible people who are doing all the things that they're complaining that certain groups of people are doing. They are, sexist and racist and insulting
Mm-hmm.
and shit people. And they start up these companies and they sign on developers like BioWare, and their job is literally to put this shit in there. And they say it's, inclusion and diversity and shit. But when you look at these examples, clearly that's not the case. And again, this is reinforced with what these toxic people are saying on like social media and stuff. They'll, for as an example, you have somebody that puts this in the game and then they run over to Twitter and they're like, fucking white people are assholes and pieces of shit and they all deserve to die. And like statements like that are happening from these people on a consistent basis. So like my problem with it is that clearly like they're trying to accomplish something negatively, not from a perspective of like, hey, diversity and inclusion, but more of a like, let's eliminate these groups of people that we don't like or whatever, and put our views and our ideas into these games. And again, like this political bullshit shouldn't even exist. It's video games. They should just be fun and about story and characters and whatnot. But it's just getting really complicated with all this shit being forced into media.
So I think the takeaway is I'm not going to touch on the broader scope of what they may be, the reason why this may be happening, because I don't have the full knowledge of what the people on Twitter are saying and so forth.
Fair.
But if you're going to aim to bring inclusion into the game, just do it right. Don't make it half-ass where you're pretending to do it and not actually, basically. Like if you're going to have the sliders, and yeah. And so far as the if it takes away from the story, then yeah, then we shouldn't. Because I'm thinking of sorry, when he said or when Jazz, you said, it has no impact, it has no bearing on the story. And I agree with that. And then I'm thinking of dating simulators where it might be the only applicable, the only place where that would be applicable, the only place where that would make more sense.
But we're not talking about a dating simulator. We're talking about
I know.
I think like the bottom line basically is it's a good agenda being pushed in the wrong way, into the wrong, not audience, but like, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a good agenda. It's a good thing being put in the wrong execution.
Yeah, I feel like it's more like,
There you go.
I don't even know the phrasing of that.
I can't
Like,
the words. It's not the right
I
word.
know.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
happy
just
with
like
that
the
word.
agenda thing.
But
It's
not
more like
agenda, but it's a
on
good
paper.
yeah.
It's a great idea on paper, but the way that it's being executed on the regular is very problematic, and it's anti that message. It's anti-inclusion coming from people who are not inclusive people, who do not who repeatedly prove that they are not interested in inclusivity and positivity. They're interested in what benefits them. How can I make the world accommodate my view better at the expense of anything that gets in the way, basically? And that's my problem with it. You know, again, like on paper, great. If you're going to do that and you're going to do it right and you're going to make it inclusive, and like, I have no problem with that. Why would I? That those are good things that should happen in the right way. But my problem is I won't say every time, but 95% of the time this stuff is tried to be put into video games. It's done for the wrong reasons in the wrong way by the wrong people. And they're claiming, oh, it's all good, and everybody that's against this is a piece of shit. And it's ridiculous. You know, like, these people shouldn't even have a fucking opinion because they're all assholes. And then they're calling good people out for being what they are, and they get support. I mean, I feel like things are kind of flipping to balance out a little bit now. But again, there's a middle ground somewhere here that can and should be had, but this isn't it.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
We're having this huge, like, trying to figure it out, but I figured out the grand scheme of it all. The full length sliders are going to be a DLC.
Perfect.
No.
In the remaster.
That would be hilarious.
That's the end of the argument right there. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They just don't want you to know, so they want everybody to be mad first.
As a
What do you mean
homophobic
first?
gay man, I am proud to be.
Did you say a homophobic gay man?
Yeah, this is the point I'm making. You
Every
can
time I
do
look in the
two
mirror,
things at
I
the same
scream.
time.
That's just called.
Alec looks in the mirror and he's like, God, how can I be less gay today?
I know, right?
More or less gay.
Fuck. As a homophobic gay man.
I am proud to be disgusted. There we go.
All right. And I guess a little bit on the flip side of this, I suppose, is Stellar Blade gets its first DLC. I hate DLC, but I kind of want this. Yeah, so Stellar Blade's getting its first DLC, and it's probably the best thing that they could have done, crossing over Stellar Blade with Nier Automata. The themes and aesthetics mesh perfectly, and Nier's 2B outfit is sure to please those who are tired of the defeminization within the industry. Again, it's about selection, it's about variety, it's about diversity, right? Like, let's make things for everybody. There should be a space for all tastes, whether you want sexy women or you want no sexy women. You want sexy guys, you want no sexy guys. You want gay, you want straight, you want this, you want that. There should be variety for everybody, not fuck these people and what they want over here. This is how it's going to be. That's why this is good. Have this, have that. You're good. So Stellar Blade has been publicly pushing back against that notion, and this crossover pretty much embodies that. This game has been kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum, where everyone's like censoring things and making things less sexy and putting more clothes on things and doing this and that. This is one game that's been doing the opposite and giving that selection to the audience that wants it. So it's good. Plus, Nier Automata is an amazing game, and 2B is a really cool character. So it's cool to see that crossover happening. All right. Let's get the fuck away from all that shit. Let's talk about a good game. Well, hopefully a good game. The craziest Yakuza game of all time is coming soon. The next Yakuza / Like a Dragon game will be a pirate adventure called Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
I'm
And I
sorry.
can't fucking wait.
The first thing that came to mind was like a pirate.
Like a pirate. It's going to be great. But it's going to be what looks like the most absurd iteration of the franchise yet. And if you know Yakuza games, you know how crazy that actually is. In this game, you play as fan favorite character Goru Majima, who wakes up on an island with amnesia. He's approached by a young boy named Noah, and they are immediately attacked by pirates. The boy takes Majima to his father, where he makes a deal to help them out and recover his memory. The game is a true sequel to Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth and appears to be a mainline title, which is extra crazy because this is definitely like crazy spin-off side game material. So the fact that this is in the main canon makes it even better. Because they've done weird things in the past where it's like a side game. Like they've gone back in time and they did like a old school samurai kind of 1800s or whatever kind of Yakuza game. And they've done Yakuza of the Dead where it's zombies and stuff like that. But none of that's ever been canon. It's just been like, let's have a fun side game kind of a thing. So the fact that this goofy shit is actually a mainline title makes it even better. The game will feature a more traditional Yakuza-style action combat system instead of the more recently adopted turn-based RPG combat, which is good. I prefer that. This time around, there are tons of enemies on screen, sometimes resembling more of a Dynasty Warriors experience because there's so many enemies and just like tons of shits thrown at you. So I'm curious to see what they do with that. On top of that, you'll get the usual variety of new and old mini games and side quests that now include full-blown ship battles and go-kart races. This is the shit I love. No, not on a ship, separate. Like you're not on a ship the entire time. Like you're on a ship and you're sailing around and then you dock and then you have on land things.
You peel out and go overboard.
I don't know. Maybe they'll do it on the ship too. That'd be great.
Good.
I can't
told
read
him
that.
to make a note of his as a homophobic gay man.
Gay
Gay
male.
male.
I'm not reading that.
As a homophobic gay man, I'm proud to be offended.
Good job.
You put gay male because you're going to make an AI say it, aren't you?
Oh God, here we go.
You
give him any ideas. If he wasn't going to do it before, he's definitely going to do it
no,
now.
he pointed at himself.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say, if this game was a movie, it would be rated R.
Oh my God, shut up. None of that. And it's also getting a collector's edition, which comes with a 6-inch acrylic standee of Majima, an eye patch, treasure coin pin, pirate flag, and a physical copy of the game for $129.99. The game launches on February 22nd for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. I'm ready. I mean, I still have to get caught up on Yakuza, but I'm still so happy that this exists. And I urge everyone to support it because it's beautiful.
God.
The only thing is like another collector's edition, like just Yakuza alone. Like currently there's 3 existing upcoming Yakuza games with collector's editions coming out. And then there's another 4 or more on the way. And like, if I had all the money in the world, that would be great. But for those of us who have budgets, like I want them all, but we're talking like $1,000 of Yakuza collector's editions right here. It's insane.
You don't need food.
I love it, but I hate it. Square Enix confirms Final Fantasy games are underperforming. The company has already mentioned that sales have been disappointing during their financial briefing back in May, but the company has gone on to confirm both Final Fantasy XVI and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth did not meet expectations. No sales figures were given, which likely means it was pretty bad. Because generally companies will share numbers that they can be proud of or that they can tout in some way. Just like Konami, generally speaking, they don't reveal numbers, but hey, Silent Hill 2 is doing really well. So what did they do? They told us how many they sold. Square Enix president Takashi Kiryu believes the two titles were released too close to each other, cannibalizing sales, which I don't know that I believe that. They were released within 8 months of each other. Like, I feel like that's a big enough gap in time that's, I don't know. I don't feel like that's the case.
I mean, the real reason people are not buying Final Fantasy VII Part 2 because...
7.
Yeah. It's because they're waiting for the total game to come out, and then because that will be re-platformed onto a different fucking platform, and then just get that.
What's ironic about that is, like, if they don't sell enough of these, that version won't exist. And if they do sell enough, that will exist and no one will want it because they already have the game.
Yeah.
That's the world that we live in.
But I just should have waited until I got the whole game.
Yeah, I feel like there's just a disconnect, between like having to experience this in 3 chunks. Like most people are gonna feel like either overwhelmed or kind of disjointed in the experience, where it's like, okay, well, maybe you played through the first one and you really liked it and you were ready to continue and it wasn't there, and then it came out and you were kind of over it, or you weren't in the mood or whatever, or it's like it's too much game. Like the first one is really long, part 2 is going to be just as long, so like maybe there's burnout, like they just played through this fucking 100-hour long RPG and now there's part 2 and that's going to be another 100 hours. Like, am I really ready for that? Some people aren't going to be. And then there's people that just don't want to fuck with it until the whole thing's out. Like you said, it's like, I don't want to have to play it and stop and play it and stop and then wait, years and years between the experience. They just want to wait and experience it when it comes out.
Plus, when the game first came out, let's just say it, a lot of us were children, so we had more time to play said games.
Yeah.
Now it's new, and it's just like, I ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah, not only is it new and we don't have as much time, but it's also longer than it was before. Like, fuck. So, yeah. And instead of like, a $60 experience, this is what, almost a $300 purchase to go through the whole thing. Like, that's not nearly as appealing. So yeah, there's just a multitude of reasons why this is not selling the way that they had hoped it would, and it's not cannibalizing the market. Another reason here is like Final Fantasy 16 was PS5 exclusive, and then it just recently got a PC release. So again, you have a more narrow market. That's going to impact sales. And then Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth is still only available on PS5. No PC version is out yet. So again, you're limiting how many copies you're even able to sell. So there's tons of reasons why this isn't selling very well, none of which are cannibalizing the market. Curio stated that the company will be curating their pipeline over the next 3 years, likely to space out their releases more. So again, I feel like they're making a judgment call based on the wrong information. You can release multiple AAA games within a year and have it be okay, as long as they're appealing to your audience. Like that's what it is. Stupid.
Sodom.
Nintendo is finally suing Palworld. This should come as a shock to no one, but it is interesting that it took so long to happen. The game released over 9 months ago, and common discord around the game has been regarding this topic. When is Nintendo going to sue Palworld? And the answer is now. The reason the lawsuit took so long was likely due to Nintendo finding a surefire way to approach the lawsuit and lock down a win. Nintendo doesn't tend to lose legal battles, and that's likely by design. In the case of Palworld, Nintendo isn't even pursuing a copyright infringement lawsuit like most people thought they were going to. They're claiming patent infringement, which is a more technical reason to go after Palworld. So clearly they have an angle that they're going to pursue, and they're probably going to win because of it. Palworld
go after Sony for Astrobot.
For what? Why?
Have you not made comparisons with Astrobot, the new PS5 game? They copy a lot of stuff from Nintendo games, so like Super Mario, Sunshine.
Yeah, I feel like that's a little looser there, though. It's like those are
Style.
more like gameplay mechanic kind of stuff, where it's more like you could easily get around that. Like, it's similar, but it's different enough. Like I've heard a couple people say like there's some like jetpack things that are similar to Super Mario Sunshine and stuff like that, but I don't know. I feel like things like that are harder to nail down in terms of like suing somebody for it. I don't know.
If anyone can, it's Nintendo.
Yeah, maybe one lawsuit at a time. But anyway, Palworld developer Pocket Pair responded to the lawsuit on Twitter, claiming they don't know what they infringed upon and took the stance of, we're just a little indie developer and we didn't mean to do anything. That's kind of their excuse or whatever. So that's probably not going to get them very far. I mean, it's pretty blatant what they're doing. And I feel like Nintendo has a surefire case here. But what's probably going to happen is they're probably just going to take it over. They're probably just going to consume it and make it a Nintendo property or find some way to profit off of it or something. I don't think Palworld's going to like disappear because of this. I think Nintendo's just going to make a bunch of money off of it. So,
and then they suddenly have some more Pokemon they can put on. It's like,
yeah,
look, this one.
Hey, maybe it'll be good. Maybe at the end of the day, we'll see a Pokemon game where they have guns. We'll get the officially branded version. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 has been confirmed. I mean, I feel like this is hardly news. We all knew it was coming, but it has been...
They put the fucking Volume 1 on.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean 2 is going to happen. It could sell terribly, and then we'll never see whatever they plan to do. So
all I want to know is if they have MGS4 on it.
That's the question. In an interview with producer Narioki Yakamura, he acknowledged the fact that the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 had a rough launch, and they're working on Volume 2 with that in mind. They want to make sure the launch for Volume 2 goes smooth and asked for everyone to give them time to make that happen. So I feel like this is kind of a low-key way of saying it's delayed, kind of to set expectations.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this does confirm that the game is in development. They did acknowledge that they're working on it, and they have taken steps to make Volume 2 not a disaster like the first one was. He also previously implied during an interview that Metal Gear Solid 4 will obviously make its way to a collection of some kind. Whether it's Volume 2 or 3 is anybody's guess. Is there even enough content to make a 3, though? And plus, so the first collection was what? The two originals,
3.
Like the MSX,
the
1 and 2,
MSX
1, 2, and 3, right?
Yeah. So you have the portable ops, although they're not canon anymore. Portable ops, Peace Walker. If you really wanted to, you can do the Ghost Babel.
Okay.
Metal Gear Acid.
Oh, it had acid on there too?
No, I'm saying there's an option.
Oh, those are the ones that they have not done yet. Okay. So the first one was literally the 2 MXS games, 1, 2, and 3, and that's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like you can't follow that up with a bunch of like portable games. You know what I mean? Like they've got to be doing mainline entries, and so 4 I feel has to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine what else they would do. And if they do a Volume 3, that would be the one with like your acid and your Ghost Babel and like your weird kind of quirky non-canon shit. Maybe they'll put Survive on there. Who knows?
Oh god.
But yeah, I feel like we're going to see Metal Gear Solid 4 on Volume 2, which is good. Makes it more accessible. Stray developer Annapurna Interactive implodes. So that's fun. Internal disagreements within the company has led the entire 25-person team to resign. Discussions between the founder of Annapurna, Megan Ellison, and Annapurna Interactive president Nathan Gary failed to solidify a deal that would allow the gaming section of Annapurna to become a standalone company. Ellison reportedly ended negotiations, resulting in Gary and his entire team exiting the company. So that's not good. Annapurna, as we knew it, doesn't exist anymore. So that's fun.
No Stray 2 then.
I mean, they'll probably make it, but it'll be a completely different team working on it. So I don't know. It's kind of iffy.
You know you fucked up when you. I mean,
And
you know you
it's sad too
fucked up
because it
when
sounds like it
people-
was just a matter of like I guess Annapurna is a larger, I don't want to say, I guess, corporation
It
that has like
more
a
games under its belt.
well, not even that. Like there's a division of Annapurna that is video games, and there's a division that's, I guess, media or movies or something. So there's multiple wings within Annapurna, and the game side of it wanted to be independent, which seems like a reasonable ask. And the founder of the company said no. So they were like, okay, bye. So I guess they're going to go make their own fucking game company. So good on them. Currently, Annapurna has partnership deals with the likes of Remedy and its Control and Alan Wake IPs and Konami Silent Hill. Ellison has stated that these partnerships will not be affected by the situation, and I call bullshit. But we'll see. All right. That was it. News. There's a lot of news.
When you said Annapurna, I was so confused because I thought you said Ella Perna.
Oh.
It's like, what?
Annapurna.
What did she do?
All right, motherfuckers, it's game time.
Oh.
Oh.
I just wasn't sure. Did you? Because I haven't had the time to watch the whole thing, but last week, real quick, did you mention the new Tomb Raider remastered announcement?
We did. Yeah. Okay. Any thoughts on that? I was curious to see what you thought.
Redemption for our Angel of Darkness.
Is it though? Like if it was a remake, then
Transfer.
maybe, but it's just a port or it's an HD version, so it's still going to be the original shitty game.
It'll be pretty.
It'll be cleaner, but isn't it still a bad game?
I mean,
I feel
stronger now.
I've never played it, so I don't know. I've just heard it's terrible. But you know, one thing that could be fixed is I heard that game, like part of why it was shat on so much was that it was like really buggy and glitchy. So in terms of a remaster, those are things that they could technically fix. So maybe they'll make it a little bit better. I don't know.
Redemption. Yeah. Shut up, Lee. There is redeeming of everything except Village.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not true. All right. Yep. Anything else? Oh.
Time for 8-bit.
There we go. Why does it look funky?
In this game,
there we go.
We played this last week. So in this game, there are 8 pictures of items/characters found in various video games. All you have to do is identify what those 8 bits are.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry
Potter. One is Super Mario All-Stars.
Oh,
yep, well done.
Oh. Bit 7 is the Brotherhood sword from Final Fantasy X.
Yep.
I can't believe you know the name
Billy!
of that sword.
It's Billy.
It's Billy.
It's Billy.
6 is the Time Crisis fuck. What is it called? Shit. I lost it. I had it and it's gone. Time Splitters. Time Splitters game guy. I don't know his name.
Cortez.
Time Guys.
And then 2 is Harry Potter.
I don't want to talk about 4.
4 is Lego Dimensions.
Yep. What's 3 and 5? That's the only ones I think.
3 is Time Crisis.
Yeah, Lee said that as well.
I can't even tell what 5 is. Is that a gun?
Oh, he went the extra mile. Richard Miller. I didn't know his name. Good job, Lee. It looks like a gun, a weird gun.
It looks like like that angle. I shouldn't do that angle.
But like the hand is all fucked up.
So the hand is. It's
Is it
the right? It's because I see the fingers.
Is it a Dino
That's
Crisis
not
game?
helping.
Yes, it's Dino Crisis 3. It's Patrick holding his gun.
Oh God, I was afraid to say that number.
All right, well done. We did the game really quickly. But
Nice.
That was the aim of this game. So
It's Billy.
That's Billy.
It's Billy. Who gives a shit?
Wow.
Cohen.
Right. Did anyone else have a quick game?
Eh.
No.
Unless you want to do a Pictionary.
You had all this time off and didn't make it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Where's your game, Sean?
Did you see the news?
No.
I blanked
Good
out halfway
Lord.
through. I was like, is there a bit? All right, then. Nobody asked us.
Nobody asked us home. Nobody asked us.
I should shorten that. Okay, so nobody asked. What's the game that you started 100 times but never finished?
Ooh.
Oh my God. There should be so many of these.
I would say one that comes to mind is The Last of Us.
That's a crime against humanity.
Is it?
For the first one. The second one is debatable, but the first one I feel like everybody should play.
Almost all of them. But Mario, Super Mario World, the original on the Super NES.
I feel like there should be a clear-cut example of this for me, but I can't think of what the fuck it is.
Metal Gear Survive. Started 3 times, like just not gonna finish it.
I kind of want to play that if you ever want to give it a shot. I know it's going to be terrible, but maybe we can get the platinum.
Oh my God, no! Shaq would be able to help you.
Oh God.
3 times is not a lot, though.
I wouldn't.
Like,
I wouldn't wish that game on anybody except for you, Alec.
Wow.
Because you made the Metal Gear bed, so now you have to lay in it.
I could just kick it out. What else?
I mean, there's so many games that I started like once and just haven't gone back to. I can't think of a specific game that I played multiple times.
The most
I mean, most of my
egregious
games are in the other room.
You need a visual representation.
You know what? Alone in the Dark, the 3DO one, the first one. I've tried to start that up multiple times, but it's really terrible.
I would say Final Fantasy 12, and the majority, like even Final Fantasy 8, done that a few times. I just haven't. I just end up watching a walk through at the end.
Mm.
You know, 12 actually, initially I hated it, but I ended up actually enjoying that one quite a bit after I gave it a chance. That's actually one that I started and stopped and then went back to and really enjoyed.
I started it and stopped after like an hour and a half. And you know, I love Final Fantasy, but I guess does it start off slow or it's just rough? I don't know.
I feel like it's just, at least at the time when it came out, I don't know if it'd be the same now, but like when it came out, it didn't feel like a Final Fantasy game. It was so different, and it was not what I expected or wanted from a Final Fantasy game because it was just so different that I couldn't wrap my head around it, you know? Because again, I picked that shit up, like I went to the physically went to the store, midnight release, picked it up, played it, you know, and I had expectations that I wanted met. You know, and those expectations were a Final Fantasy game, and I just didn't get that out of it, and I just couldn't force myself to continue to play it. But then I came back and I had a different mindset, and I kind of knew what I was going to be getting into, and I guess it was enough for me to get in and enjoy it for something different.
Lee said Resident Evil 7. I have finished that game. Do I ever want to play it again? No. Now that I played it in VR, I'm just like, nah.
I enjoyed it in VR. I thought it was cool in VR. You get a lot more out of it when you're playing VR.
It just. It's like the dimensions of it are just so stupid. It's like, how big is this fucking house? I mean, no, that door is fucking far too big. Yeah. Jazz,
God,
anything?
I've got so many. I'm thinking like the general like big ones that I've never actually finished to the end are like Blood Rain 2.
Really?
I know I finished Blood Rain 1. I just can't remember because it's been so long how I can't remember it. There has to be like more like obvious ones, but there's like I know Echo. I've played Echo a few times and never actually like finished through it. Remember Me. And of course
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I Am Alive. I've never finished I Am Alive, but I've played it several times. Sean left because he doesn't believe me about Blood Rain 2.
How dare you? That's actually really surprising to me.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those, like, I played it when I was in high school, so I got busy with school.
Alright, let's move on. They say E.T. was the worst game ever made. If
Village.
What is? There we go, Village. Metal Gear Survive.
Damn. Easy peasy.
Well, shouldn't it be like
What's a shit game, Carmen?
I'm thinking. I know what has been touted as the shittiest game, but I'm trying to think of the most shit game that I've ever played. Because I think technically.
Oh wow!
Hey, I
so dumb.
I enjoy it.
Doesn't mean it was good.
It's true, but okay. Let me think. What was the shittiest game I'd ever?
Oh, Cold Fear! Fuck that game. Cold Fear. I regret nothing.
And we never saw her again.
Why do you hate that game so much?
Because it also falls for the first question. Because no matter how many times I give that game a fucking shot, I can't play it. It's just so dumb. It's not. It plays badly. The controls are so annoying, and it's just so stupid. I don't understand why. It's just can't. I can't do it.
Siren.
Siren, like
what?
Did you say Siren is a bad game? I actually just started. Like, I tried that game again recently, and I got further than the beginning. And I was like, "Hey, like the cutscenes are so stupid, but it's so good."
I can't. I mean, like it looks like it has a lot of potential, but I can't like get started. Like I get stuck in the first scene, died like 37 times, and uninstalled it.
Well, that's the thing. Like you have to separate difficult and bad. Because yeah, that game is very hard, and you could actually put that on my games that I've started 100 times and never finished, because I have started that multiple times and I always stop playing it, and it is because it's really hard, and I haven't been able to wrap my head around how it works is my problem, because like clearly it's a me thing, because like I just don't understand like how like jacking into the vision of the other, like the monsters, and like figure like you have to figure out their movement patterns, I guess, and it's just I don't know, it's really difficult to figure out how that all works, and I haven't been able to get there yet. But it's not a bad game, it's just weird.
I mean, I feel like
it's really weird.
there's definitely strategy to it, but I cannot. Basically the same, but it would make more sense coming from you, because if you can't wrap your head around it and you are like an absolute avid like rabid gamer and you can't wrap your head around it, then that kind of lends support to like like if I say it's like, if I say it's difficult, you could be like, yeah, but you don't play games that much, you kind of suck. But if you can't even wrap your head around it, then it really must be. So then I win because you said it, basically.
Right.
How dare you?
Last question. Does your first gaming device console still work? And what was it?
No, I lost mine in a flood. The ColecoVision. That's how old I am.
I don't own any of my original hardware, unfortunately.
So I grew up playing this.
Oh.
And obviously this isn't the original. It was long gone. And then went on to PlayStation and yeah. Never really looked back.
What was the last question?
Does your first ever console still work?
What was it?
And yeah.
Jazz is gonna find it. Jazz is gonna be the only one that has it working.
Where the hell did I put it? Where are you?
The first PS3 I bought stopped working. The first Xbox 360 I bought stopped working.
Oh,
the first PS5
yeah,
there you go.
My Super NES that I had, I got that for like Christmas when I was 11 years old. I only had one controller and like 2 games for it, and I didn't need that shit anymore, so I gave it to Sean.
That was your original system?
Yes.
Holy
yes,
shit.
dude. That's why I gave it to you, because I knew that you would hopefully take care of it, because you are the collector.
I shouldn't have sold that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, I knew that I knew that if anyone would appreciate it, it would be you. And I wasn't going to get like any money from selling it. There's, but anyway. So does it still work? It should still work. I think it still works.
I haven't turned it on yet. I have too many things going on. I need to, there's that fucking, the N64 you sent me, Alec. I don't even know if it works because I haven't turned it on yet.
I actually keep forgetting that I sent you that. So, yeah.
I don't understand how you can't.
It's on a very long list.
I can't even get out of
you know what? There's so many games that I bought that they might not even work because I haven't even tested them. Like
Jazz
even
actually tested to see if the console.
I can't even get out of the parking lot with a package without tearing it open. I don't understand how you sit on these things.
Just because it's open doesn't mean it works.
Okay.
So
while she's figuring out if the console still works, any more crappy games?
I know it works. I just don't have a plug near me. But this was our cottage, like rainy day. Still has spray paint from when my mom painted the patio tables that she doesn't even have anymore. Like it's still.
See, that's
works,
cool that it actually has
dust.
like battle scars on it. Like that's so cool that you can be like, oh, this means this and that means that. Like that's really cool.
It has like, even I can see the difference. It has like this is the part that was like in the sun, crossfading. I've got all my games underneath.
See, I still
have this amazing gem of a Super Game Boy that I can play Game Boy games on top.
Oh, yeah.
Still have the multi-tap so we can all play Bomberman together. Still have my fucking mouse pad and mouse for Mario Paint somewhere. Like, this is my baby.
Oh my gosh!
I shouldn't have done that. That was not very. No, I should have done. That was not a nice action to do on camera.
Right, well, that was nobody
Moving
else's.
Massive fucking plug that weighs more than the console.
Wow. The good old days.
The good old days.
When games are actually complete.
All right. Well, we made it through. Only an extra hour long than the normal episode. No big deal.
That's all right. You had
hey
37
man,
news.
considering all of that news, I feel like we got through it on a pretty good pace. So, yeah, I'll take it. But this has been episode 252. Thanks for joining us, everybody. If you enjoy the podcast or any other content on the Ward, please consider helping us grow by sharing our content, liking the video, and subscribing. You can also support us through patreon.com/thewordproductions to get exclusive content. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time where we're going to have a bunch more news. Strap the fuck in. Bye.
Strap the fuck on.